Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that? What's going on, family? How y'all doing, man? Welcome to the latest installment of the Sports Coma, baby. We in the building. Who that to the black and gold faithful? Much love to you and Yearn on this fantastic, what was it, Tuesday? I forget, family. Just coming off vacation, man. Took a short vacation, kind of unwind, man. Been working hard lately. Good to be back with the family members in the live stream. Who that to the beautiful black and gold family members? Who that? What's good with you? Anyway, welcome aboard, family. Good to see everybody in the chat as well. Big ups to the Black and Gold Baddest Sports Show. Who that to your family? Thank you for joining us. Dominique Evans. Who that to you? Okula McGee. Who that to you? Brother Jerry, who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? Joe Gidry, who that to you? That's who else we got there. JT, who that to you? And all the rest. Superstar Louisiana boy, who that to you? Good to see you, fam. Boxing Profits. Whoa, now, who that to you, Boxing Profit? Good to see you, fam. Jared, what up, Jared? Jared Slack in the building. Who that to you? Donovan Grayson, what up, fam? Who that to you? Donald Woods Jr., what's up, Donnie? How you doing, family? He says his 24th birthday. Who that to you, brother? Good to see y'all. And a happy birthday, a happy who that birthday to Donald Woods Jr. making 24 years of age today. Big ups to you, Donald Wood. Who that? Who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well, my friend. Appreciate you for joining us. Who else we got there? Let's see. Superstar says the only real boot boys know what I'm talking about. Them early 90s babies. All right. He said, what's the word on Kamara? Got that coming up for you, fam. We're going to break that down today. 985 Live. Who that to you? Debo. Who that to you as well? B Jizzle. What's happening, B Jizzle? Good to see you in the chat as well. LBR Productions. What's good with your homie? Good to see you. Mr. Fire D. Who that to your family? Good to see you in the chat. Tyra. Who that to you, baby? Good to see you. Jermaine Scobie. What's happening, Jermaine? Who that to you as well? So, you know, big ups to the family members joining us in this one, man. And Patrick Washington. Who that to you? Venom Rage and the family joining us. Please hit the like buttons, family, as y'all chiming in on the live stream. Please hit the like button. Good to see the family members. On this one, we're going to talk about a little Kamara news so far. What's up, Sport Talk 365? What's happening, family? Good to see you in the live stream too, fam. Who that to you? I'm going to talk about a little Kamara news today, family members. Just pretty much going into Alvin Kamara, a little talk on him, a player's interview. As you know, I haven't been with you guys over the last few days. Haven't exclusively covered the back end of the Jadeveon Clowny situation. But being that, like I was, for family members just tuning in, I was on vacation. I took a little mini vacation over the weekend and just getting back to it today. So, Buck, let's see. All right, we got hashtag Buck Nation. He says, I'm back. Well, that's all good. Buck Nation is good to see you in the chat as well, brother. And no problem. Donald, who that to you, brother. Appreciate you. K. Savage Gaming. What up, fam? Good to stay. You see, we still need a pass rush. But the reality is, man, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Clowny scenario and the fact that the Saints tried what was considered the first of its kind sign and trade with another team. And, you know, the questions are abound. You know, I got questions. If one thing I have is questions, and I got questions because nobody else don't ask no goddamn questions. They just let everybody make it. How you let it? That's why the world in the tore up shape it is right now, family. Seriously. World in the tore up shape right now because people don't ask the right questions. You know? First we go mad dash for this man, and then after we don't get him, we whine and down him. That mean that was the only dude you wanted? You ain't see any other menu or meal on the menu you wanted to get? Nah, I'm just going here just for the cheeseburger. Yeah, I know they got etouffee on there. I know they got all that up there. I don't want that. I just want the cheeseburger. You want, but you don't do nothing else. I told you it was no. And people say, Q, if you don't get this guy, is there a plan B? And I said, no. That make a lot of sense, don't it? You got to have a plan B. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, they don't. I'm telling you, man. There's something wrong with it. Everybody and their mama know you're supposed to have a plan A through Z. And then if you run out of letters, start using numbers. Start using the Roman letters if you got, and the numerals if you have to. Oh my goodness. People crazy, man. But let you hear these Sean Payton people, they're gonna say, oh man, he know what he doing, man. Keep saying that shit. Keep saying that. That's why you sitting here the last 3 years without a Super Bowl ring. Because you keep saying that foolishness. And I'm gonna keep pounding at you until you understand to come out of that that mentality and stop letting these people make it. Because it's because the people that think like that is the reason why we keep having these issues. You sitting here 3 straight years talking about the 09 Super Bowl. We want to win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years. We got to get serious here. There's no more playing games and talk about give them some time. I mean, ain't no more time, man. I gave you 10 years. You want another 10? Yeah, you got fools out there say, yeah, Q, give them how much time it takes. Are you kidding me? Man, you just a numbskull. And I don't like calling people some names sometimes. But sometimes you got to make a point, man. You got to come up out of that mentality. Please, family. Please, who that's thinking like that, come up out of there. That's what the Great Saint Think Tank is for. Let's elevate our thinking on these matters. Let's come up out of here, man. You mean to tell me that was the only one, that's the only thing you went to go up in that supermarket to buy? And you went in there with everything you could and then couldn't come out with nothing. And this is a history of this occurring. This happened with Ndamukong Suh. This happened with several other free agents that they wanted, including Jimmy Graham on the back, and then this other defensive end whose name escapes me. I can't remember the man's name. He also went to Green Bay several years ago. It's happened. Robert Quinn, you couldn't get Robert Quinn from the Dolphins. What can you do? I mean, come on. And then they say, well, we good with where we at. Then why did he go out there and try to get that man there? And then all these people going to pretend like it didn't happen. No, I'm not going to let you forget. Because that goes to show you that what I was saying all the time was right. I kept telling y'all about this whole situation. I kept saying it. I said, we need another guy. And then you wait all the way to the end of camp to go and get one when he could have got one at the start of camp so you can got some of camp to learn the plays. Now, you tell me if that makes sense. But they're going to sit up here and tell you, Q. They're going to say up there, hey, Sean Payton know what he doing. Mickey Mouse Loomis knows what he doing. This ain't the show for that kind of thinking. You better go find somebody else's show. Because in this show, we are critically thinking people, and we think about that real, and we will keep it on you. We're not about letting you make it anymore. We've given you 10 plus years of Super Bowl dysfunction. It is time for you to show up and show out. I'm not playing with you no more. I'm tired of it. 10 years since the Super Bowl is too much. You're asking for too much now. You want me to keep funding. You want me to keep doing this and doing that and all this and keeping the faith and all this stuff here. Let me tell you something. You got to show up. And I ain't talking about in the regular season. Every good team's supposed to have a winning record in the regular season. It's not about that. It's about getting to that point where we continually fail, and that's in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't want to start on this straight out right out the door, but since the Jadeveon Clowny thing happened, and I didn't have a chance to address on it this past week because it happened when I was on vacation, and I didn't have a chance to address it, but now I'm addressing it right now. Why didn't you clear the cap earlier if you wanted this man? Why are you trying these ridiculous signing trades? What's wrong with you? Why didn't you release Nick Easton straight up and get the $6 million, the $4, $5, $6 million that it needs? What was the restructuring of contracts needed to free up the money so that you can get this man straight up if that's all you wanted? Why would you try something like that? But see, they're gonna let them make it. The reporters is not going to say anything about it negatively. They won't pounce on them. They won't say why is Sean Payton looking at a starting level defensive end this late in the preseason going into the regular season. Shouldn't he have done that earlier? You won't hear none of that critique. It's only here that you hear that kind of critique. Because here we serious about winning. You could take them 13 wins and shove them up the you know where. It don't mean a hill of you know what. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay up off them words, but y'all get the point. That don't mean a hill of you know what to us unless it come with a championship ring. Do you hear me? What are you doing it for if it don't come with a championship ring? Because we about championships here. We ain't about wasting no time. It's about championships. That whole Jadeveon Clowny situation was an absolute slap in the who that nation face. To go out there and beg like Keith Sweat for him, only for him to slam the door in your face at the last minute. You out there begging and pleading like Keith Sweat. You like begging on tape like Keith Sweat in that first CD, that yellow CD, when he had that old funny looking sweat on with the patches all over it. And you up there saying, why me? You crying and begging, tears coming down your face, whining and dining. And you say, that's all right. That's all right. Then you walk away dejected, going back to the team, back to Davenport, the dude you try to get a starter to put on top and say, hey, we believe in you now. Oh, man, come on, the chicanery. It can't get no funnier. But, hey, man, listen, I've been saying this, man. This is not nothing new. I've been saying this for some time now. Y'all going to finally start listening to me or what? Are y'all gonna y'all gonna start to listen now? I mean, seriously, to all the people out there that I've been saying this for some time now about this situation. I've been saying it. This is absolutely dysfunctional and it is terrible. That you go out here, you can't get anybody. They've been trying for years to land impact people to accentuate the talent on the defense. Can't get nobody. Now, why is that? Because they're not creative enough to get in some of these deals. In Yannick Ngakoue, got to bring it back. The Yannick Ngakoue set out there, and them people from the Vikings got that dude for a second-round pick. The same second-round pick the Saints will give away. They trade up somewhere because picks don't mean nothing to the Saints. Now, next year they probably will. But Yannick was out there. You wasn't interested in that. You wasn't interested in Everson Griffin, who's better than Clowny is at this stage of his career, will be more impactful on your defensive line, who you could have got for $6 million, not even a thought. But you mean to tell me all you can see is Clowny? You can't see nobody else? There is nobody else out there that you can try to give a busted up ass sign and trade for? You think this the NBA? What's going on here? You playing NBA Live? This dude tried to sign and trade. Come on, man. Come on, fam. No, bro. That is an absolute slap in the face of the family members, man. It's a slap in the face, family. It's a slap in the face. Not because I ain't mad at Clowny. Listen, that ain't on Clowny, and that's what they'll do. Well, screw Clowny. He won't be with us anyway. Listen, you could have had him. You could have had two better than him if you would have moved when you were supposed to move. You wait way to the deadline toward the last end to do anything. You thought you was going to come away from that successful? They could have signed that man after Dallas signed Everson Griffin. They could have signed him if they really wanted to. They playing games around here. Now you're going to go into the season and saying, okay, what kind of message was that saying to the nation? We loaded. Yeah, Q, we loaded. Yeah, I hear you on that. But your coach went out and tried to get another starting level defensive lineman, and you going to pretend like that didn't happen? What is he telling you? If I'm trying to get Clowny to the point where I'm whining and dining them and signing and doing all these weird trade maneuvers that nobody never done before. What is that telling you? Not nothing, is it? Not the great say think tank is telling them a lot because they're critical thinking this here thing. I'm telling you, it's more than it's like the old Transformer theme or the Decept, whatever you want to call it. It's more than meets the eye. Remember that? That's what's going on here today, baby. But anyway, there's a slap in the Who Dat Nation face, man, the way Sean Payton them can't even land talent. Keep happening. This is people don't look at the trending. Robert Quinn Jr., they got outdone by the Cowboys to get Quinn last year. They got outdone by the Cowboys to get Everson Griffin. They retooled their offensive line because of Everson Griffin and what he did to them. They retooled it. I keep hearing these people telling me the same thing. Sean Payton know what he's doing, Q. This is not the same. And I keep saying the same shit to him over and over again. This is not the same Sean Payton that won the championship. That's Sean Payton liked to run the ball with 3 running backs. Remember? You know, do you break out that old Michael Jackson? Do you remember? You remember that? He liked to run 3 running backs. This dude don't like running 3 running backs, and he runs 1 and don't want to pay him. Oh my goodness. Good grief, man. Damn. But at the end of the day, all I can tell you, family, is that, listen, we just got to go in this thing here, man, and keep the heat on them. And I'm telling you, I'm coming into this season and I'm keeping the heat on them. I'm not letting you make it this year. And I encourage all of the great Saint think tank and all the Who Dat Nation out there to come on with me on this movement here. This is the movement. Hashtag ain't letting you make it no more. Hashtag ain't riding off a 2009 ass Super Bowl no more. That's what type of hashtag sick and tired of being sick and tired of the Saints falling out the playoffs. That's a long hashtag, but that's a real sentiment. We tired, man. And we're going to keep the heat on you. We're going to keep the heat on you on this one. But anyway, I started that family, started to get that out the way straight and foremost on the Jadeveon Clowny thing. I thought that was an absolute slap in the face. It was totally ridiculous and stupid and foolish how it all played out. They should have took care of business with the Alvin Kamara situation right after the Super Bowl before the C-19 junk started. And they could have did the same thing with Everson Griffin. He been on the waiver wire. I mean, on the free agent wire for months and months. But you got people foolish enough, man. They got some real fools out there, bro. I'm telling you, a lot of fools. A lot of fools, man. We gotta let Sean Payton know. And Sean Payton don't know, dude. If he knew, he would have got that man. If he knew, he would have got that man last year. You see what I'm saying? And they refuse to see that. But you can't teach blind people, man, nothing, bro. Sometimes you gotta let them run off the water. Sometimes you gotta let them run in the walls because you can't tell them nothing. They just put the blinders on. They just live in a state of delusion. They can't even see that their football team falling through the floor with the decisions that we making because he knows that they don't have enough pass rush, but he gonna pretend to go into the season to try to make sure he got due. That was big, I'm telling y'all. I've been saying this. This ain't nothing new to me. Anyway, in this one, family, we're gonna cover some Alvin Kamara and play one of his interviews. Kamara talked about, we're gonna cover several news articles today. One, I'm gonna give you a tweet shown by Shefty, who's reporting that Kamara and the Saints are really close to a deal getting done. So I'm gonna cover that today in the show. I'm gonna play some Alvin Kamara. I'm gonna cover one of the articles that he said that I've never held out in my life. I got some analyzation to deliver on that one. I mean, dude, just be quiet, bro. How many lies we gotta bust this dude in, man? Seriously. I mean, it's like stunting like my daddy, it's like Sean Payton is Birdman, and Kamara is Birdman Jr. He like Lil Wayne. He's stunting like his daddy. He doing all the stuff his daddy doing, including lying. I never held out. Where you was at 4 days, dude? Huh? Or the unexcused absence. Oh no, I was getting a shot in my back. You didn't tell a man that. You wasn't at practice, but you wasn't holding out for the money. Man, come on with this nonsense, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. I just don't like it. Don't just keep it real, dude. Keep it real. You don't have to lie to kick it, man. If you wasn't there about your bread, it's fine. Get your money straight. It's fine. It's fine. But don't try to flim-flam me, dog. It won't work. Because, when you step up there on that podium, you said you never held out, and the smart people know, man, get your you-know-what out of here. What were you at 4 days? I was at the doctor. It took you 4 days to get a shot in your back? Oh, you was at the Saints facility? I never held. Man, come on, man. Come on, bro. Cut it out with this nonsense. I'm going to play a little him today. I'm going to cover the rest of this stuff on Alvin Kamara with Adam Schefter's tweet about him getting, with him getting close to a deal with the Saints, which we already talked about this. The timeline was getting the deal done before training camp, but the Jadeveon Clowny situation ultimately pushed that aside because they then shifted all of their attention to getting Clowny, and they just left Kamara right there. Had the Kamara situation had not occurred, they would have had Kamara signed before camp ended. But this whole Clowny thing took precedent over everything, even signing a top star running back. That's why I'm trying to tell people, they pushed Kamara aside. They pushed him aside to go run at Clowny. And people say it's all right, Q. Okay, all right. We're going to cover that, family. Plus, the latest addition to the practice squad is, guess who? We got a car. The Saints bought a new car. Well, it's a used car, and put it on the practice squad. That's right. The man you can't stand, the man you can't get enough of. Austin Carr is back, baby. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it, family. Please hit the like button. Thank all the family members for chiming in the live stream on this one. As we fired up, I'm going to be with you guys for a couple hours. Then ultimately, we're going to move aside. We got a TSC Q&A live to do tonight. I'm going to talk to the family members about a few more things, a few more news items, talk more about the Clowny situation. Also, I'm going to play some skits from ESPN and their thoughts on the Saints season, or their thoughts on the Saints stuff going through, like I usually do, just to show you how stupid ESPN is really about the Saints. I like to document that just to show you these people don't have a damn clue about the Saints, okay? You talking to a guy 30 plus years in the born and raised New Orleans, down in St. Dude, 30 plus years of following the team. Almost 6 years of covering the organization consistently. Them people don't know nothing about your team. Let me tell you what. and they pretenders up there, man. They're pretending, sucks. Their acting stinks, and they say some of the dumbest, stupidest stuff that you could possibly imagine. We're gonna cover that on TSC Q&A tonight at 6 p.m. So actually 6:30. So if you guys are interested in joining the TSC Q&A, you can only get that by going to patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, or simply sign up to become a member, a YouTube member, and you'll get the links as well. Who that to you, Michael Williams? I see you, Smokeless YT in the building. Ferg 318, good to see your family as well. Todd Radu, what's happening, Todd? Good to see you in the chat. My dog Crass, who that to you as well. So do me a favor, brother Tramal, I see as well. So do me a favor, family, please hit the like button, subscribe if you aren't a subscriber, and hit the notification bell as we go. So if you give me a second, we'll start right into this here stuff here. Shamak Alvin Kamara are extremely close to a lucrative new extension that the two sides are hoping to finalize in the next few days per sources. The deal would silence any recent trade speculation and keep Kamara in New Orleans during the prime of his career. What does that contract look like, family? I say it's a 3-year deal, possibly 4. Anything more than that, I'll be really kind of questionable of. But a 3-year deal with maybe with a 4th year as a team option. You see what I'm saying? And to do it. So what does that look like to you, Q? 15, 16 million. Mozzie said this morning on TSC Unleashed. I don't think so. I don't think it's that much. I'm looking somewhere in the head, maybe 13.5 to 14 million. Something like that per se. We're looking at what, 40 million, $45 million, something like that. A 3-year, $45 million deal. I mean, perhaps something like that. But like I said, when we was covering this and we've been on top of this deal was supposed to be done before camp ended, but of course it got sidelined due to the fact that they were pursuing Jadeveon Clowny. But this is what it's all about. And in the next couple of days, it should get done. So this will help. So I'm looking at my deal is, y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat. I'm thinking a 3-year deal, possibly a 4th year added as a team option, 3 years deal, 3 or 4 year deal at 40 million, perhaps 45 million. Somewhere in their parameters I'm looking at. Y'all tell me if y'all agree with that. All right, Trey Joseph, who that to you, my man? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, Mike? Who that to you, bro? Bishop, one love. We'll say that, Bishop. How you doing, sir? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to the family members. Please spank upon the like button. It helps the show out. Plus, it's free. Brother Dada is in the building. Says 4 years, 42 mil. All right, brother Dada. That's pretty specific there. Thank you for that. All right, so this is pretty much the meat and potatoes of this. Is Adam Schefter, who's a pretty reliable source when it comes down to information pertaining to the NFL. This is what he is talking about. Now, let's get into, what's the next one I won't go over here? Let's get into the actual article here. And this is based upon the tweet that I just sent you guys. Is just a little bit more into it, just to give you the receipts. Kamara on Monday sidestepped questions about his contract talks, insisting that the focus on Sunday season opener against the Buccaneers as he's heading to the final year of his rookie contract. But so far, he and the Saints have been unable to bridge the gap regarding a long-term extension. Now, Kamara's 25, has a total of 2,408 rushing yards, 2,068 receiving yards, and 38 touchdowns in 3 seasons. He has exactly 81 catches in each of his first 3 seasons, despite missing 2 games last year and being hampered by a knee and ankle injuries. Now it's knee and ankle over the final half of the season. A source had confirmed that New Orleans was even open to the idea of trading Kamara, and I don't believe that, for a first-round pick and for one pick. You're gonna trade Alvin Kamara for 1 first-round draft pick? Cut that out. I don't believe that report at all. Then it says, let's see. Determine what Kamara value lies may ultimately prove difficult because there's a wide chasm between McCaffrey $16 million per year and Mixon's $12 million. That's why I said like 13.5, 14, because 15 is where Zeke Elliott is. Christian McCaffrey is 16, Zeke Elliott is 15, and Kamara's numbers are not better than Zeke Elliott's, but in terms of it's right underneath Zeke. So I was saying 13.5, 14 million, but nowhere near 12 million. If they get him around there, that I don't know about that. But however, this is not the case in which the Saints are eager to part ways with their 3-time Pro Bowler who was named NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2017 after being drafted in the 3rd round out of Tennessee. The Saints have made an offer that at least shows they're willing to make a long-term commitment to Kamara despite the salary cap limitations because of the value he brings as both a runner and a receiver, which is what something I always tell people about. They always look at him as a running back, but he's not just a running back. And there are a lot of running backs that run and catch the ball, but not quite like Alvin Kamara does it. Maybe a handful of them, 2 or 3 of them at best, that can do it at the volume and the lethality of somebody like Kamara. This guy, you can say, okay, Kamara, look, we got enough running backs. We're going to literally turn you into a wide receiver, and he'll go out there and become either your 2nd or 3rd best wide receiver. That's how good this guy is. 81 catches. And people say that's nothing, Q, really? 81 catches for a running back? He also led the team in rushing this year despite being hurt with knee injuries. No ankles, knee. And the reality outside of that is that, remember a guy named Ted Ginn Jr., who used to play for the Saints? Remember he had 30 catches last year, and he played every single game for New Orleans. Every single game, and the wide receiver only had 30. Kamara had 81. So he's a lot different than the traditional running back that people keep kind of grouping him with. You can't group this guy in with guys like that. But they make that mistake with him, but not Christian McCaffrey. You know, it's a double standard, flawed thinking in people's minds about Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Had not Kamara been injured last year, he would have had numbers comparable to what Christian McCaffrey did last year. Comparable. Those were really neck and neck until last year when the injuries took Alvin Kamara out of the season. He came back as half of himself due to injuries, even though he was telling you 95% I'm good. He still looked terrible out there. He was hurt the rest of the season. It was a shame, but had he not gotten injured, he would have had numbers comparable to Christian McCaffrey. And it would be no denying him the money that he's seeking. Nobody's denying Christian McCaffrey. They'll use all the numbers. It's an evil and dirty, rotten double injuries. He got banged up last year, which cut his production. But Kamara is more than just a running back, man. And I hope people would understand that and stop saying that he's a dime a dozen, because you cannot find an Alvin Kamara everywhere. You can't do it. You have to remember, you have running backs like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and these guys are spectacular. Don't get me wrong. But what Clyde hasn't done anything yet on a pro level. In college he did. But it's yet to be determined if Clyde can produce that way in the pro game. Some say he could, but it hasn't been proven yet, so you can't really say that. But Kamara has showed up in the pro game where he wasn't in the college game. He just excelled. He just took it and ran with it, literally and figuratively. So I would caution people to stop just simply calling him a running back. He's so much more than that. Okay, let's move on to this one. Saints star Alvin Kamara say that he never held up. Now, y'all know my stance on this. Y'all know what I've been saying about keeping it real and just stop sending us your representative. Stop sending your representative and stop speaking to people and telling them things that you think they want to hear, and just keep it real. Don't, if you can't tell me the truth, then don't tell me nothing. Keep your damn mouth shut if you can't tell me the truth. And this is something that, I can't get these guys to understand. Kamara mostly sidestepped questions about his contract talks with the Saints on Monday, and I'm going to play some of that interview for you guys. On Monday, insisting that his focus is on Sunday's season opener against the Buccaneers. Kamara did counter the narrative that he was holding out from the Saints practices during a recent 4-day stretch when sources said his absence was unexcused. That's what we got. That's what was announced. There was no issue with that whatsoever, that they were unexcused. And by the way, and bear in mind that when that was put out, it was not challenged then. Think about this, what I'm saying. When that was put out, that these were unexcused practices, they were not challenged at that time. They weren't challenged after the fact. And I knew them. If I knew it, I know he know it. I knew he knows it. If I knew it and you know it, he knows it. Trust me. I ain't never held out in my life, said Kamara, who spoke to the media for the first time since his absence. Oh, that was funny. He said, I ain't never held out, spoke to the media for the first time since his absence. So they said he ain't never hold out, but he was absent. Never mind. I came to the building every day. That's all I got to say. Yeah, right. And the source told ESPN Jeremy Fowler that Kamara was also seeking treatment for a back issue during those absences. Nobody asking the question of why was he seeking back treatment outside of the Saints medical staff. That's an issue. That's an issue. Why are you going to a private doctor to see about an issue with your back and the team do not know that you have that back issue? He's like, well, Q, how do you know that they don't know that he had the back issue? By the term unexcused. If it was medical and he was doing it, then it would have been excused. They had a reason why he's doing it. He's saying about his back. But the fact that he did it, people say, well, Q had to do something with his contract. And I'm saying, okay, if that's the case, then why admit that you was getting back treatment anyway? That wasn't released by the doctor or the Saints. That came from him. So he could have just buttoned up and just say, yeah, I'm holding out for the money. He told them about his back. So if he was trying to hide it, he did a shitty job of hiding, is what I'm trying to tell you. Have we gotten that clear? Anyway, let's keep it going. But it says seeking treatment for a back issue during those absences, but Kamara returned to practice fully last week and said Monday that he is not concerned about the back being an issue. Somebody got to be concerned. I'm concerned about the back being an issue, and I'm pretty sure y'all are concerned too if your star running back got back problems. Especially Kamara, who represents 70% of your offense. Wouldn't you say that's a problem? That's a cause for concern? Somebody got to think it's an issue, obviously, right? It's something light. He says something light. So it's not an issue, it's something light, but it was enough to make him disappear for 4 days, in which he said he didn't disappear unexcused, to deal with a back issue that if it was nothing at all, why didn't you go to the team doctor for them to take care of it like they do everything else? You see what I'm saying? It's something here. It's something here because none of this is adding up here. You see, I kind of dealt with a little bit last camp too. Just a little flare up, just a little joint flare up. It just needed some rest, a little injection, but nothing serious. If that's the case, why the team couldn't do that to you? Why they couldn't shoot you with the stuff? You know they got it. Why would you go to your doctor and pay out of your pocket when you can go to the team doctor for free? That's what they're there for. You're a member, or better, you're property of the team, if you're according to your agreement. That you, if anything happened and all this other kind of stuff, those really events that could get you injured, that they can't do that. They can't do none of those type of events and be in violation of their contract. Trust me. They have had plenty of cases, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that. There's no need for me to pull out the receipts on that. You guys have heard that before, about people having language written into their agreements that they couldn't skydive and all this other stuff that can cause them to get hurt. Not like extreme sport type stuff where there's a high degree and possibility of you getting hurt, which will then impact your ability to perform with the team. This is written into the agreements. Even some contracts were so specific that they had language written in the agreements where people like Cam Jordan, you can actually reach, not Cam Jordan, but Cam Newton, who was at the time the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, could not get tattoos on his arms, seen tattoos on his arms to be, he couldn't get tattoos. They broke this down in Carolina. He couldn't get tattoos that you could see. Now he might get them on his arm, or you could cover it up with a shirt sleeve, but on him, they had that written into the language of his agreement when he was at Carolina. I remember him talking about it and breaking it down. Probably y'all heard about it too. Many of y'all probably heard about it. All right, let's keep it going. Kamara's heading to the final year of his contract, but so far the Saints have been unable to bridge the gap. Source confirmed that New Orleans was even open to the idea of trading Kamara for a first-round pick in the light of his absence. But sources indicated that had calmed down before Kamara returned last weekend. So Wednesday. So I'm just doing comparative. I'm just comparing in the incidents or the activities here. You didn't hold out in your language, but you disappeared for 3 or 4 days, right? The team mentioned it as unexcused. Then you say you come back and say it was medical, which they didn't know. You were getting shots in your back just a little soreness, which the team could have gave you. That's why Sean Payton was upset. Sean Payton was upset because he didn't tell Sean that he was having back problems and required shots. Sean Payton has a right to be upset about that, because if you're holding that out, what else are you holding? What else are you holding? That's a big thing with the team. And that was, and people say like you, in retrospect, that could have caused a really big breach of trust right there, because if you sneaking around getting, shots in your back from your doctor and you're not telling the team, that's problematic. If y'all don't, agree with me on that, we got problems here. And that could have caused the breach between the two, because it could have shattered some trust here. It could have shattered a lot of trust here, because the coach would say, what else are you holding out? What else are you dealing with that we don't know about? You see? And they said, well, Q, did he want to do that for privacy? I said it again. If he wanted to keep it private, then the only thing he had to do is shut the hell up and say, yeah, it was about the money. Why push you the one revealed the shots? And that's why, and I'm telling you, that's why Peyton was upset. It wasn't about no money. It was about the fact that he hid the fact that he was getting shots in his back. Didn't get up here and lie about it. Like we supposed to believe what you're saying, when I've broken down on the record that I've showed a series of lying coming from him. Like way back into last year when he was lying to the fan base about being 90 and 95% healthy when he wasn't even close to that. How do you know that? Because he said it then. I played the interviews on the show when we was covering them last year go back in the 2019 broadcast and listen to me. Go and listen and look it up. And then fast forward to several months ago, last month, that he revealed that it wasn't an ankle, that it was a knee. And it was a muscle tear in the knee that didn't require surgery. According to him, when the reporter asked him, did you need surgery? Oh, no. Remember that? I played it on the show. But telling us that he was 90 to 95% healthy while playing, and he said that he could barely move his leg. That was his words. Why lie about something like that? Well, he won't let his teammates down, Q. I understand that, bro. But all those same teammates going to pay your medical bills if you crippled or you get hurt out there because you can't get out of the way of harm. Sometimes you got to know to buck that poison mentality, that poison ass locker room talk. You got to know when to get out of there, because that type of mentality was put on the field by the owners they don't care if you hurt or not. They want you to get the max value out of their product as possible. We talking real now. That mentality was put on the players to play with broken bones and stuff like that. And that was created to get the very much out of each player. But this guy could not move his leg. That was dangerous. And I was pissed off about that Sean Payton's medical staff would clear this kid to play knowing that he could barely move his legs, which shows me that you got a weak ass medical director over there who's putting players in danger of getting hurt to acquiesce to the Coach Payton because he's too stupid and cowardly to stand up to the man and say, listen, he can't play, end of story. He's 50% at best. I'm going to protect my players. He didn't do it with Mike Thomas. When Mike had a busted hand, he still played in the Minnesota game with a busted hand. You didn't know that until after the fact, and Mike told you about his busted hand on social media. So did with Cam Jordan. They knew Cam had that torn muscle ripping from the bone near his groin, and he played with that for the last month of the season in the playoff game. The medical staff knew about it. You can't tell me they didn't. They didn't, because if he was hiding injuries, he would have been penalized for that. So anyway, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it real here, man. That's what this is about. Okay, let's keep it going. Payton said also Monday that we've concerned about Kamara being affected if he doesn't have a new deal in place. Number one, we would never discuss any type of contract progress with the media. Payton said, I'm confident at some point we'll get this done, and we'll let you know what happens. Determine where Kamara's value lies may ultimately prove too difficult since there is a wide chasm between McCaffrey's $16 million and Mixon's $12 million. However, this is not the case with the Saints, who are eager to part ways with a three-time Pro Bowler who was named the Rookie of the Year. Now, we went over this in the previous report, and that's pretty much what it is, man. But the thing is, if you're a running back like Kamara, now you've known, and this creates problems, going forward. It's like, okay, if he's hurt, is he going to keep it real and tell us when he's hurt, or he going to sneak around and did this before? Perhaps he's done this before. Perhaps he was hurt and he went outside the bit of, and I'm telling people that's a big deal with the coaching staff. That's enough to get you knocked off, man, in terms of pushed and traded. That's why they got upset to the point when they was considering trading him. In retrospect, if you think about it, and you see Peyton mad about him not knowing about him getting shots, because like, what else are you doing that I don't know about? What other health issues are you hiding? You know, and then you there didn't say that you was in the building. So you basically was saying that the team is lying on you, that I've never held out and I've been here all the time I was in the building. But come on, bro. Somebody lying, man. Anyway, let's keep it going, man. And this is the tweet. We're going to go back to it. And remember, like I said, the actual contract, the Saints did say in a previous article that they were comfortable with paying Kamara $13 million, north of $13 million a season. I'm just throwing that out there. That's why I said $13.5 to $14 million over 3 years. Over 3 years. And remember, you want to keep your core together. Really, over the next 2 years, the Saints have a Super Bowl core. Like if you win the Super Bowl this year, which I really do believe that we'll do, and then that'll put us in a situation where we're then forced to defend it. So if we are forced to defend it, then you'll have Kamara here, and then that's another Super Bowl there. So you'll keep a window for the next 2 to 3 years, because you have Mike Thomas. Remember, you have him for another 4 years. You got Cam for another 4 years. So and then you'll sign eventually Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk the 3 or 4 year deal. So you'll have that nucleus of talent together for at least another 3 to 4 years, where you can compete at a high level for another Super Bowl 2 or 3, is what I'm saying. But this deal would have been done this weekend if it wasn't for the Clowny shenanigans. I think that this should have been settled first before the situation. It's a bad look, is what I'm saying. How do you shuck off? And just goes to show me, and it's just me. But people, I just want to impress this on y'all mind, is that you take Kamara, a 3-time Pro Bowl running back, represents over 70% of the Saints offense, and you throw his deal aside to go chase down Clowny. And people don't ask questions, say, damn, you talking about priorities. Shouldn't Alvin Kamara have been retained before you then chase down Jadeveon Clowny? I mean, was he that important? That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Clowny, the acquisition of Clowny was more important to the Saints than signing Alvin Kamara. Did you hear what I just said? Did you just hear what I just said? They threw Kamara aside so they can chase down Jadeveon Clowny. That's what I'm saying, man. So that's my question in my line of thinking. I was like, damn, if Clowny was that important to what they were doing and they really wanted him that bad, how do you really feel about the defensive end position? If you was chasing that man down to the behest of signing your Pro Bowl, your all-pro running back / do everything man in Alvin Kamara. Wow. I mean, seriously, think about that. Wow. We'll see, man. We'll see. And then you couple that with the fact that, Marcus Davenport missed several days toward the back end of camp. He missed 4 in a row, came back, and then missed 2 more. So, I mean, is he dealing with something for them to go and chase down Jadeveon Clowny but don't want nobody else? I mean, we'll see. Only thing I can do is pose the questions, family. And it's up to y'all to answer them. That's all I can say. It's up to y'all to answer. I can't answer all the damn questions. I'm sorry, I can't do it all. But I tried, man. I try to make sense of it the best way I can. But sometimes you can't make sense out of stuff that don't make no sense. Some stuff just don't make no damn sense. But who that to the Black and Gold family members and the live stream, much love to y'all. I wanted to spin that for y'all, man, and play a little of that for you. Now, next, I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to play a little piece of the Kamara interview with him talking about the contract stuff. I'm going to key that up for you in just a second. But first, I'm going to go down to the chat and give a few more shots out to all the beautiful Black and Gold family members that chimed in when I was going through breaking it down. So big ups to all the family members in the building as well. Chris Mueller says $14 million for 4 years. Donald says, do you know anything about this defensive from the Ravens Saints signed to the practice squad? We're going to look at it, Donald. Trey Joseph says, since we missed Clowny, do you think Clay Matthews? I don't think anybody's on the table, bro. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Saints only had eyes for Jadeveon Clowney. That's obvious. They didn't have eyes for Everson Griffin, who signed with the rival Dallas Cowboys for $6 million for 1 year, which would have been just right for you. They didn't have eyes for Yannick Ngakoue, who's an excellent young pass rusher that the team could have got for a second-round draft pick. Didn't have eyes for him. They only had eyes for Jadeveon Clowney. There is no Clay Matthews discussion. There is nobody discussion. If they couldn't get Jadeveon Clowney, they don't want nobody. They're going to go shop for defensive ends in Canada. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do next. Dada says 4 years, $42 million. Thank you, Dada. That sounds about right what I was looking at. But that's like rough. That's just a little bit over $10 million a year. I think it'll be a little bit more than that, don't you think? That's why I was saying 3 years. 3 years, maybe about $40 million with that fourth year as an option. But you could be right. It could be 4 years, but 4 years, $45 million. Some say 4 years, between $45 and $50 million. They're saying that's where you're right at point. That sweet spot is 4 years at between $45 and $50 million. People say you're making a mistake. I'm not one to say that, bro. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you we're making a mistake by signing Alvin Kamara, because that's not true. That is not true. We are not making a mistake by signing Alvin Kamara to a contract, because he's going to earn every penny of that money, you know? And they'll have language written into the deal to get money back if he gets hurt, you know? Just keeping it real with you. All right, Bishop, who that to you? Bishop says, we got to get this W, family. Skip going to talk regardless, but I'd rather hear him make excuses about his girlfriend, Tom, than hear from him gloating about the W. Yes, thank you for that. Kai, who that to you? Kai, good to see you in the chat. Once again, happy birthday to you, brother, as well. Jerome, who that to you, fam? He says talking too long for them to finish, take it too long. Yeah, it did, because you knew something was going to go funny, because usually it shouldn't take you that long to do that. Kai said, I mentioned this to Big Q when he went on live, his last podcast, did my third. Yeah, happy birthday to you, Kai. Crash said, the thing with Alvin Kamara, even if he outlives being a running back, he switched to a slot and still be very viable. I'm telling them, Crash. I'm telling you, the man's not just a running back. I think we're getting caught up on that label. He's so much more than just a simple running back. Who that to you, Raheem 21? Good to see you. JT says 5 years, $45 million with 57 of it guaranteed. All right, JT, thank you. Throat Cutter, what up, fam? Throat Cutter, it's up there. I see you, fam. Good to see you in the chat, my dog. Nola Bars, who that to you, says Saints are always almost about to get that damn GM deal done. Yeah, it's like what I used to call Cam Jordan back in the day. Cam almost got him. Cam almost got him, Jordan. That's what I used to call Cam several years ago, because Cam would get back there, and y'all seen this. Cam would get back behind where that quarterback is, and he'll run up to get him, and the guy would just get rid of the ball just before Cam get him. And I used to say, damn, Cam almost got him. He always back there. He's always back there, but they'll scurry and get away from him because they'll run from his side to the other side where ain't no pressure at. Usually when Cam chasing him from his side, the guy from the other side is supposed to encase the quarterback where he can't run nowhere. Well, guess what he run? He just evacuates out the side where the other end playing. That's how pathetic the play is on the other side of the opposite of Cam Jordan. Cam will chase the man, he'll run right out the way, evacuate out the other side. Y'all tell me if I'm telling the truth. Cam always back there, but you need somebody to keep the quarterback encased in the pocket so he can get to him. You know, and that's the problem. And that's what I'm saying, man. Y'all underestimate this Jadeveon Clowney, this latest debacle, the Jadeveon Clowney debacle. Do not overlook this. I know you want to forget about it because you ain't get him. But record this and put this in your brain, because remember, I'm going to revisit this again, because something in the season is going to happen, which is going to force me to say, well, family, let's go back to the tape. Did not say this, that, and third, because I'm telling you, Cam is providing pressure from his side, and they're not getting consistent pressure from the opposite side. That's why they were running like their heads were cut off to get Jadeveon Clowney, which should be problematic in your head. I know you're confident, we're confident, but I'm telling you that that's something to pay attention to. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm throwing it out there, and I'm telling you, you need to pay attention to that because that is big. You chase Clowny down and hold Kamara off, and Kamara, all he did was give you 3 Pro Bowls and represent 70% of the offense. But you hold Kamara back to go chase Clowny down in Houston. Wine and dine him, but you ain't wine and dining Kamara. You know? I'm just showing you. You might not agree upon it, but I'm just telling you to remember this because you will revisit it later. I'm telling you, it's big that he tries to go and get a starting level defensive end a few days before the first week and run down like crazy to get the man. Now, had they have gotten him, he would be starting on top of Davenport, which shows me what is going on here that you went to run over there to push Kamara. Get out the way. And Kamara, all his dreads flying. Oh. And he goes out, run out to Houston, and then keeps Kamara waiting on hold until he got back. All right, Kamara, we ready for you. All this is public, by the way. None of this is private. He threw him on the side to go chase Clowny down. And nobody but me saying, I'm like, don't anybody see that? And I'm flapping my arms like a big-ass Goonie bird, trying to get people, hey, everybody. Everybody, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see him push Kamara aside to go run after Jadeveon Clowny? Did you see that? Everybody sitting there like that. They ain't see nothing. I'm the only one flapping, trying to fly away. Whoa! Like a big-ass Goonie bird. Like a big angry pelican. I'm flapping away. Oh, bad. But anyway, man, let's move on, man. We're going to play a little bit of this, man, about this. We're going to revisit this later, man. We're going to revisit. We're going to play a little Kamara, man. And then we're going to play it. Now, I'm going to stick with y'all for a little while. I'm going to go through the chat. Please put chats, and if y'all have any questions or concerns, throw them in the chat. I'm going to come back and revisit them after we get through this Alvin Kamara interview. We'll go over that, and then I'm going to bounce back to the chat. So we're going to play a little Kamara next. Here go Alvin Kamara on his thoughts on camp, among other things.
That a deal can get done this week, and are you okay if it doesn't?
Today was a good day. We focused on Tampa. We installed, the first part of the game plan. Just kind of getting them kinks and flows out, some of those little kinks out. It feels good to be out there with the team. We're focusing. Day off tomorrow, and we'll be back Wednesday.
Next question from Amos Morale. Yeah, with the way training camp was, the shortening and all of that, do you feel like you got some good work in?
Oh, yeah, I felt good about camp. I think this was one of our more competitive camps. Looks good. We got a lot of talent. I think it was just overall, like I said, I think it was one of our better camps, and I think we're ready for week 1.
Next question from Mike Triplett.
Alvin, will you be planning to play in every game that you're available with or without a new contract?
Yeah, so we're getting ready for week 1. Today was a good day, and I think we feel good about what was, the light install today, and I think we're just ready for Sunday.
Next question from Fletcher Mackle.
I'm good. I think I know potentially where we're going. Thank you.
Okay, next question from Nick Underhill.
How's your back? Is everything good there? Is that anything to worry about, or is that?
Nah, it was just something light. I kind of dealt with it a little bit last camp too. Just a little flare up, a little SI joint flare up. So it was just needed some rest and a little injection, but nothing serious.
Next question from John DeShazer.
Alvin, when you said it was a competitive camp, a lot of times people will equate competitiveness with contact and tackling, that kind of stuff. Obviously not a lot of that. So what makes you say it was an extremely competitive camp?
I think it was competitive when I say that. Within position groups, there was a lot of talent we had in. even the controlled situations we had, it was competitive. Even though, like you said, it's not really full contact, tackling, cutting, periods. But there's still ways to get competition out of those periods, and those periods that we did have, some of them situations that we put together were some of the most competitive I've seen since I've been here.
Next question from Amy Just.
Yeah, Alvin, on Sunday there won't be any fans in the Superdome. How y'all practice with the quote-unquote crowd noise? What's that gonna be like for you, just walking into that stadium and having it be really different compared to years past?
It's definitely different, but at the end of the day, when we get in there, we got a job to do. So kind of that's how I approached the practice the other day when we walked in the dome. You're thinking about it like, man, no fans, and then when you get in there and you break that huddle, it's time to lock in. So it is what it is. But I will say the crowd noise that the league approved ain't nothing compared to what the dome sound like. So I feel like they kind of played us on that.
Next question from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Alvin, just to make sure it's asked, is there anything you want to clear up about the reports of you holding out or unapproved absences or anything? Is there anything you want to clear up on any of those reports?
Not really. I ain't never held out in my life. That's about it. But
so you were not purposely leaving over a contract dispute in your mind?
I came to the building every day. That's all it is.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Next question from Nick Underhill.
When you go against a defense like yours with all kinds
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Next question from Nick Underhill.
when you go against a defense like yours with all kinds of safeties, just for a player with your skill set, what kind of challenges does that present?
You said all kind of safeties?
Yeah, you guys got a bunch of safeties. Just you going against the safeties you guys have on the Saints, like what do they do and what challenges do they present?
So these guys are smart.
I don't know about safeties. We're going against a bunch of liars. I know that
I've been around. Overall defense, but like you said, in our secondary, this all together, they're a very smart group. So they play well off each other. So there's times where it might be just a cover two look, and Malcolm's down in the box like playing around, and I'm like, what is he doing right there? So he's throwing off my keys, and I'm just trying to figure it out, put the pieces together. But it was good going against that all camp, because I always say this: there's no harder looks than what our defense gives us. So when it comes Sunday, it's like it's vanilla.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Alvin, just considering Drew and Sean have been together this is their 15th season now, what, in your opinion, just makes them work so well together?
I feel like I answer this question every year, but two of the smartest people I've been around. They're always thinking 10 steps ahead. So that's why I'm always trying to be in Sean's head, trying to be in Drew's head, just so I could be a couple steps, up there with them. Just as far as game planning, what they're thinking, on game day, what they're thinking next, what they think about a certain look. Like, it's just that it never stops with them. They're never content with, all right, we put this in, it looks good, let's move on to the next. It's like, we put it in, it looks good, but what can we do to make it better before we get to the next play or before we get to the next drive or next, series or situation. So they always scheming up something, crafting something. So that's what I think makes them great and, why they've been so successful.
That's Alvin Kamara spreading his commentary on the team. He never held out in his life, and we just gonna have to take that as the word on the street. All right, family, let's keep it moving here. Please hit the like button. I have some more news items I'm going to deliver to you guys about that's going on with the live stream as well. Give me a second. I will share the screen with the family members as well. We're going to go over the depth chart as currently constructed. This is the depth chart given to us by NewOrleansSaints.com. I'm going to go over that. Who that to the great Black and Cold family members in the live stream as well. Nola Balls and the rest of the family members. Who that to you, Ray Long. I see you as well. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in. We're going to hit up the depth chart momentarily. We're going to talk about the latest signing per a source by Nick Underhill. Reported earlier today that the Saints are signing to the practice squad defensive end Marcus Willoughby. And we'll give you some particulars on Willoughby. But in the great words of my co-host on TSC Unleashed, Uncle Mozzie would say, great value. But anyway, we'll talk about that, man. We'll go over it. But anyway, let's get into it. We're going to go over the practice squad right here. So just give me a second. I'll share the screen with the family members. We're going to cover the practice squad. And this is, of course, the latest edition of the practice squad here for the family members. Like I said, I was on vacation, so I didn't have a chance to go over this stuff with you. And I'm merely kind of adding it to the show. Big ups to the family members as well. Joe Pesci joins the practice squad. Shaquille is on the practice squad as well. Andrew Dowell, wide receiver Benny Fowler, tight end Garrett Griffin, cornerback Keymon Hall, wide receiver LaJordan Humphrey, defensive lineman Marcus Hunt, wide receiver Jawan Johnson, running back Tony Jones Jr., Tommy Stevens, the tight end, Kelvin Throckmorton, Cameron Tom, and Keith Washington II. And Emmanuel Butler did not make the practice squad this year. They moved him out of there for Jawan Johnson. So and also let family members know as well is that two more players were added to this practice squad, including Austin Carr. That's right, Austin Carr has made a return to the Saints, and he is your wide receiver. So it's a report on Austin joining the Saints practice squad as well. And this player here is the latest edition of the Saints team. His name is Marcus Willoughby. Marcus Willoughby is the latest player. And let's get some information about Willoughby. It's reported by Nick Underhill that he's added to the team. This should bring the practice squad up to 16. It took a few days, but the Saints practice squad is finally in full capacity. Nick Underhill reported that the team is signing defensive end Marcus Willoughby to fill the final spot on the 16-man unit a day after the Saints resigned slot receiver Austin Carr is back. So we got a new used car on the team again. Willoughby is a rookie out of Elon University who signed with the Ravens as an undrafted free agent after the 2020 NFL draft. He's 6'3", 252 pounds. He brought a solid resume from college, recording 224 tackles. He had 16 and a half sacks in 43 games in the CAA, but wasn't able to crack Baltimore's loaded roster. That's not bad. And of course, I'm going to go and look up film on this guy, and I'll come back with a more thorough breakdown on Willoughby in the next broadcast. But 16 and a half sacks in 43 games, not bad. He'll have a chance to compete in New Orleans. The Saints brought in similar players late in training camp, TJ Carter and Wynton McManus. So they have some frame of reference to compare him against practice tape, but rosters are being shuffled often this early in the season. So expect more moves to come. Yeah, it'll be a very movie type of a situation as teams look to add people. So newest Saint is Marcus Willoughby. I'm going to check out some film on this guy as well. So let's keep it moving here, family. I think I went over that, and then we're going to bounce to, this is the Saints depth chart. This is provided by the NewOrleansSaints.com. This is their official depth chart, as you can see, lined up here. This is the offense here and the offensive line here on the first team. As you can see, Mike Thomas is there. Him and Emmanuel Sanders are your wide receivers. Jared Cook at tight end. Of course, Drew sits there with Alvin Kamara. Fullbacks, Michael Burton. And then, of course, we all know that Armstead is sitting there. Hold on, I didn't mean to click that. I'm going to just bounce back. But Armstead is sitting there. And at the tackle position, Andrews Pete at the left. And then, of course, you see McCoy at center, Ruiz at guard. So look like they're going into the season with Cesar Ruiz at the guard position, which was a question people wanted to know. Where did they go? What's going to happen with it? And, of course, you see you guys behind them on the list. The backups, Latavius Murray behind Kamara with Ty Montgomery and Dwayne Washington. So the Saints kept 4 running backs on the roster here. Even though I'm going to have to check on Dwayne Washington's situation, I think he's on the C19 list. I want to say I didn't see a report saying that he came off it. I'm going to have to do some more research on him. But anyway, Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston at the quarterback. You see Taysom is the backup but behind Drew Brees, even though he'll be the top slot man. But they have him number 2. Winston is number 3. Traquan Smith's behind Emmanuel Sanders on his side with Deontay Harris is there. On Mike's side is Marquez Callaway. Ethan Greenwich is Teron's backup. Andrews is Derek Kelly. Will Clapp is at center position. Easton will back up Ruiz, and of course, Ethan Greenwich, they got him parceled at the backup behind Ryan Ramczyk as well. So going to the defensive side of the ball for the Saints, and let me see here. Oh, there it is. Okay, the defensive side of the ball is interesting. Davenport's there, nose tackles, big Malcolm Brown, David Onyemata, and they got Onyemata and Sheldon Rankin, so I guess they'll situate, kind of rotate those guys. Cam Jordan's on the other side. Then behind those guys, see Trey Hendrickson behind Davenport, Carl Granderson behind Jordan, Shai Tuttle behind big Malcolm Brown, and Malcolm Roach is behind Onyemata and Rankins. It's good to see Roach there, man. And of course, you look at the linebacker positions here, man. Take a look at the linebackers. The will is Demario Davis. The Mike is Alex Anzalone. People kept saying, there's no way, Q. They're going to put Alex Anzalone at the middle linebacker position. Here go your receipts for all those people that were saying that it wouldn't happen. Here go your receipts. This is from the Saints. Now, of course, this is from their website. This is their official depth chart. Their starter, what their intended starters are going to be going into this first game of the week, the first week. As you can see, you see Alex Anzalone at the Mike linebacker. His backup is Craig Robertson. The will is DeMario with Chase Hansen as his backup. And the Sam is Caden Ellis. Caden Ellis is starting over Zach Bourne, and that was due to the fact that Zach Bourne missed a lot of practice. He missed some practice that the team didn't feel comfortable with him, so they ultimately decided to go with Caden Ellis, which I love that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I actually like this. I want to see what Caden Ellis could do, because remember last year during preseason, he was my preseason MVP. He was calling plays on defense. He was going sideline to sideline. The kid has a lot of speed. And I like Caden Ellis there. We're going to see how he holds up there. But this is a very speedy linebacker core. Davis, Anzalone, and Caden Ellis, and even Zach Bourne with Chase Hansen. This is one of the most athletic cores that I've seen in a long time, minus Craig Robertson there, of course. But this is a very athletic unit. Now, if injuries hit here, you're going to have problems, but let's keep it real. We're going to be all right there, hopefully. All right, then we go into the secondary. Janoris Jenkins next, and then his buddy is Marshawn Lattimore. Malcolm Jenkins at strong. Marcus at free safety. And then behind Janoris is P.J. Williams. Behind Marshawn Lattimore is Patrick Robinson. So people that saying, Q, you think he'll play more corner? The Saints have him penciled in as a cornerback. And to be honest with you, who else would they have put in there? There's no other cornerbacks on the roster that you could slide behind him. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will be your nickel guy. Of course, we know this. But Patrick Robinson will be that fourth cornerback. Him and Patrick Robinson and P.J. Williams will be that fourth or fifth cornerback. Behind them is just Justin Hardy. So, behind your top three, it could be issues if stuff happened there. But if you look at Marcus Williams, his backup is DJ Swearinger, and JT Gray backs up Malcolm Jenkins there as well. So if you take a look at the special teams, Thomas Moore's there with Will Lutz, no surprises there. Blake Gillikin is still on the team. Sean Payton's keeping him so far. 2 punters. Yeah, that's a very strange situation, but it's happening. Lone snapper Zach Wood, and of course, you look at the punt return, you see Deontay Harris at punt return and kick return. Alvin Kamara is listed as the backup for Deontay Harris on punt returns. Marquez Callaway is third in line, and on kick returns is Taysom Hill. Then there's Marquez Callaway there as well. So Kamara not only runs, he leads your team in rushing. He'll be the second best wide receiver on your team, but he also turns around and punt returns for you. But don't pay him any money. He don't deserve it. I mean, it's really, I don't know what to make of that. But this is some of the story, family, that we're going over. Once again, we'll broach the news of the day, which came from Adam Schefter earlier today, that the Saints and Kamara are extremely close to a lucrative new extension. Lucrative is the key word there, that the two sides are hoping to finalize in the next few days. So like we said, this was supposed to be done last weekend, but I think it'll be done before hopefully before the weekend, so it doesn't become a distraction into the first week. Hopefully they can get Kamara signed to an extension, because whether you like him or not, the man deserves it. Seriously, he deserves it. All right, and we're going to move out of that. So we're going to bounce back to the chat now. And that's the active roster, family. That is, we broke down the practice squad, the active roster, and covered the latest news of the day as far as that's concerned. Now, my next thing is I'm going to go into the chat here. Any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to hit the chat up and let me know what you guys are thinking about. You know, if you feel, let me know how you guys are feeling about this roster. How do you feel about it? All right, let me jump up in here to chat. We're going to go down a little bit. All right, Travis504 says, did you hear anything in NFL Network this morning? Good morning, football. Everybody said we're not going to make the playoffs because Brady being on the Bucks. Kay Adams was the only one that stood up for the Saints. She usually is. Kay's the only one that stand up for the Saints. The rest of them dudes is chumps. Nate Gurlison and the rest of them are absolute morons. That other dude with the funny looking dude, I mean, I don't take none of them guys seriously. I'm sorry, I don't. You know, they're not who I would look for football talk. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. But I guess they're better than Max Kellerman is. All the rest of them, Marcus Spears and the rest of them morons. I mean, but you know, that's their opinions, man. That's why I keep telling you that these guys don't cover the Saints. If they know who the Saints really are, they wouldn't say dumb stuff like that. Come on. The Saints are going to make the playoffs. The only way it doesn't happen if severe injuries decimate this team. That's the only way we don't make it, is that we get decimated with injuries. Any other way, if it's in control of the team, they should not only make the playoffs, but win the playoffs. And I know winning the playoffs means you won the Super Bowl. So let that be the mantra that we use besides take it personal. That's on the shirt. How about win the playoffs? Let's just start saying that. I know that people ain't used to hearing that, but we have to start making people get comfortable with that. How about winning the playoffs? Winning the playoffs mean you won the tournament, you are the champion. That's what it's about. Those guys don't know nothing about the Saints. If they did, they wouldn't say silly stuff like that. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Thank you for that, though, bro. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Joseph, Travis 504, who that to you? All right. Jonathan says, Big Q, they should have signed Kamara before approaching Clowny, but if they were smart, they had an opportunity to grab him in the beginning. If Kamara is important to the franchise, pay him. That's just bad. It's just a lot of tomfoolery, bro. It's a bunch of nonsense. And I was like, man, that dude, you gonna drop him to go to that guy, and the guy drop you like a bad egg. Then you come walking back with your leg between your tail between your legs, going to Kamara. That was a terrible look. You know, and it does. I'm just showing cracks in the armor, man. People don't want to see that, man. They don't want to see it, man. You got to live with the truth. Don't live with no lie. You know, don't live with no lie. The truth is empowering, man. Don't sit up here and say, don't foolishly believe that you don't need to pay attention to cracks in the armor. You point them out now, they see them, they fix them. Not hide them, because if I can see them, they can see them. The opposition can. So me not saying that they're cracks on them don't help my team. The other people see them. All right, thank you for that. Appreciate that, Jonathan Joseph. Who that to you? Ray Long says, do you see them not resigning Armstead and drafting a tackle, or could pay 2 tackles $20 million? I think Armstead is at the end of his run. I think he has 2 years left this year and next year. I want to look into his contract, but I think Armstead is in trouble, bro. I think Armstead gets out of here when Drew does. And I think they'll kind of start anew here and probably draft some guys and bring some competition to the position. But I could definitely see him, kind of moving out Teron Armstead. I'm surprised they didn't do it this year, but they kind of did it with Larry Warford. If the guy playing at a higher level, you're not supposed to get rid of guys if they playing at a higher level, Pro Bowlers. Because truth be told is, you got rid of Larry Warford. Did you get better on that offensive line because you got rid of Larry Warford? The only thing you did was got younger. That's the only thing you did on that offensive line pertaining to getting rid of a 3-time Pro Bowler because you needed $7 million. But you still got his backup making $6 million, who you refused to take a pay cut so you can go chase Clowny down. I mean, I don't understand. Why didn't you go take Easton's money from him? What he got, a gun? A big gun? An elephant gun or something? That you better not come over here trying to take my money. It's absolutely insane that the type of foolishness that I'm seeing. But, like I said, man, I keeps it real 100, man, all the time. All right. So, yeah, I can see Armstead being the guy that goes in the next, not this year, but next year, no doubt about it. They got to get 20 plus million underneath because the cap shrinks. So they'll be over 20 million. They got to get in neat. So you can see Armstead getting out of here. So, that could be valid. Thank you for that, Ray. All right. Throat cutter once again. Who that to you? Nola says, if we don't beat Tampa, we're in trouble. I don't think if we don't beat Tampa next week, we're not in trouble. We're not in trouble because we still got a lot of football left. But the Saints, won't be in a chase position coming out the gate. You won't come out the gate with a fast start and jump ahead of this team and put the pressure on them. You don't want to come into it and lose to this team starting off. But you're not in trouble after just 1 week. No, you're not. You still got plenty of football to play, but it does put you in the chase point, in the chase position, which is something that you don't want to be in early. But if it happens, you still got a lot of time to make it right. Throw Cutter says, y'all act like we really need AK-41. We do, Throw Cutter. We do need 41. I mean, the Saints have backed themselves into a corner with the man. He represents over 70% of your offense. You can't replace him just like that. He's a weapon. The dude catches. I mean, I can't, make it any clearer than showing you the numbers. If the numbers don't sway you about Alvin Kamara and what he does with the team, then I don't know what to tell you. 70% of your offense out of 100% of your offense do represent 70% of the offense for the Saints. 70%. That means he's involved in more than just the running game. That means he's catching passes in the passing game. He kick returning. He represents 70% of the offense. I mean, he's outperforming guys at the wide receiver position. He's not even the same skill set with. But, if that don't improve you, look at his statistics. He's in the top 5 among the people at his position. I mean, if that doesn't sway you, then I don't know what does. He's not a dime a dozen running back found. If he was, I would agree with you. But Alvin Kamara, man, he deserves his money. And the Saints are going to ultimately pay him. Thank you. Nola says, catch them before they gel. Yeah. All right, Tori says, okay. Crash says, I don't think that the Saints had any interest in going after Griffin, unfortunately. This dude has wreaked havoc on us over the years. Saints ain't want nothing to look at him. They were totally blind. This dude, they know who Everson Griffin is. Everson Griffin has been known to the entire Saints nation for years. He was a thorn in our sides and a pain in our asses for years. And he was the reason why they try to blame it on Larry Warford. That's why they got Warford. Got rid of Warford because of what, in large part, what Griffin was doing. But you don't look at him at all. You could have had him for 6. Don't look at him at all. Just tunnel vision to Clowny. That's the issue. That's up here. Something wrong here. You seen that dude right there is the only guy you seen, and you don't go after nobody else. That's a problem, man. Kai says, take care of your own players before you bring somebody else in there and let them be a lesson. Let that be a lesson to Mickey Mouse Loomis. Yes. Sweep around your own front door before you try. Remember I said that some shows ago? Sweep around your own. That's what that means. Sweep around your own front door, meaning take care of your own business before you start trying to worry about somebody else's. The Williams brothers couldn't have said it more beautifully. They sounded a lot better than I did, but the idea is still the same. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. And all my old school gospel people knows that's an old wise way of saying to handle your business before you try to take care of somebody else's. Sweep around. Oh, don't get me going. All right, let's keep it going, baby. Hit the like button, fam. Javier said, what's your final score prediction, Big Q, on the family 24-17 Saints against the Bucks? I like 28-24. That's what I like, bro. 28-24 Saints. That's my call on it. Although we're going to do a preview show about the game Friday. We'll do a preview show, or I think Saturday we'll probably do the preview show on it being at the game is Sunday. We always so Saturday Saints Talk will be the preview day for the telecast, for the broadcast. So we'll do the game predictions, we'll do the scouting reports, and we'll jump right back into our regular stuff that we traditionally were doing during every season. The day before the game, we do the preview of it. And just to let the family members know, we kind of piecing a little something around here to do what we call a virtual tailgate. We think we're mulling that over right now. And it was talked about earlier this morning about doing a virtual tailgate. Where we have a show where the family members can jump on there and they can say the predictions and stuff like that before the game and all that. It's called virtual tailgate. And maybe you can show pictures of what you're cooking on and pictures at the party or where y'all at and the celebrations and stuff like that. We'll give you some more information about that. So the TSC tailgate, be looking out for that. We're working out the kinks. All right. Crass says, Big Q, looking at the depth chart, I see Caden Ellis will start. Yeah, we just showed that, Crass, my man, and I agree with you, man. I like that. I think Caden Ellis looks good there. Zach Bourne will have to come along slowly. But I would like to see what Caden Ellis does. Throat color says 36-21. Nola said, I've never held out in my life. Get that man the pregnancy test. I mean, come on, bro. Keeping it real, man. Nobody don't like to be lied to, man. You know what I'm saying? By anybody. I don't care who it is. I ain't never held out in my life. Where you was at the 4 days? At the doctor? Why you ain't go to your team doctor? And then sit up there and, and the referees, then the reporter's like, man, come on, man. We already know what happened. We already know the man hit you with $200,000 fine for you being late. What happened with that? Then he don't want to talk about it because he a liar. And I've been briefing, I've been saying this, man. Nobody talk about it. But what make you a liar is what you doing, what you saying. Why we don't? And the thing is, you don't have to lie to kick it. Why even say anything? Just like, well, it was a family matter, and leave it at that. You don't have to tell me you got shots in your back. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know all that. Well, then again, I might. If you hurt, then that could impact your play on the field. But if it's personal, you're like, man, I just had a family matter I needed to take care of. Nobody would challenge you on that. Just leave it alone. But the fact that you calling the team said you wasn't here. So you saying you ain't never held out, you ain't never missed whatever. You calling them a liar. You calling them a liar, and the team saying no, you lying, because they didn't change their stance on that. That's why the media keep asking about it. So he calling them a liar. They saying this dude wasn't here. I don't care. So who you gonna accept? You gonna accept the people? He works for them people. He's the employee. They're the employer. And they're saying, listen, we don't care what you're saying. You wasn't here the 4 days. Don't tell us you was, because we got cameras around this building. We know we got security up here. C-19, we make a show. This is what happened. We know you wasn't up in here. What you lying for? It don't make no sense. Why lie at all? It ain't, just say, man, I had personal, business to take care of, and leave it at that. It's just you turning to be a little liar to me, man. I've caught him in several lies real quick, man. Like, this little dude be lying, man. What you lying for, little man? You don't have to be lying like that all the time, bro. That's like, man, I don't know if I could trust the little dude. Little dude be lying, man. Ain't no need to lie like that, bro. All right, let's keep it going. Crass says 34-17. Who that nation? Thank you, Crass. Appreciate that. Kai the Great says no score prediction. I just want the Saints to be victorious. That's all that matters. And that's Kai's birthday wish, is for the Saints to give him a victory for his birthday. So let's hope that'll work. Iceman says why they don't ask him why he didn't tell Peyton he was getting those shots. See, nobody don't ask the question. See, I'm the only one asking. The reporters don't ask the question. I played for you at least 6 or 7 minutes of an 8-minute interview they did with Alvin Kamara the other day. And nobody asks the questions that I'm asking. And these are the questions that the people want to know. Why you going to a private doctor to get shots in your back and not the team doctor? That's a fair question. Why this team telling you, saying that you held out for that you were missing in action for 3 or 4 days, and they charge you a $200,000 fine? Are you calling them a liar? No, I don't care about it. I'm just saying I was here. Man, you wasn't here. You wasn't there, man. Cut that out. You think the people don't know if you was in the building? You Alvin Kamara, you think people know who you are? They got cameras all the way around there and security around there. The people know you wasn't up in there, man. Cut that out, bro, with that foolishness. All right, let's keep it going, man. Make me upset, man. I don't like no liars, man. Cut that out. Cressy, my question is, how many sacks do we get on Brady? I'm so sick of watching this dude and people gushing all over him with the Bucks. I say, bro, 4 sacks. I like 4 sacks, Crass. I say we can get to him 4 times. I say Cam can get to him twice, Davenport once, and maybe Sheldon Rankins and Oyamada can pile on for a sack. I say 4 times. But if you really want to ruffle his feathers, get about 5 or 6 times, knock him around. All right. All right. Throat cutter says 6 of them. Yeah, I'm with you on that, throat cutter. We get into him 6 times. That means he rattled. He's shaking and rattling and rolling back there. All right. Let's keep it going now. Tara says, yeah, Kamara peeped that too cute. Yeah, I know, baby. I know. Noah says, crap, we better get at least 2 for the W. Okay, guard Wings on IG. Okay, who that to your family? Good to see you on the chat as well. Nola says safety position can be nasty if Williams upgrades from a tackle. That's pretty good, Nola Boss. Ray Long says the most overused question ever is the Sean and Drew connection. Good grief. That is the most basic do my homework ass reporter question. What's the connection between you? What do you think the connection between Drew and that man said, man, I've been asking that question mostly every time in the regular season, most often asked question. You know why it's often? Because that's the reporter that don't do his homework question. I just need a question to ask him when it's my turn. I don't really want to cause no problems. I just want what is the connection? What do you think the relationship between Drew and Sean is? Man, listen, you talking to Alvin Kamara. Won't you ask Sean Payton about his connection with Drew Brees? Come on. Ask a Kamara related to the offense question. Ask some of the question that Big Q asked. How about that? He ain't gonna ask the question that Big Q asked because they'll pull his press pass. This guy's making wild accusations. This guy has wild questions, man. That's all you got to do. Ask questions. Crash says, no excuse for Marcus Williams and tackling on the back end, chin up, head up, wrap up, football 101. 4 years in the league, and he's still talking about he got to learn how to tackle. And when I call that out, people say he all right. A non-tackling ass safety on the back end of your defense is all right. Okay. He gets interceptions, Q. Okay. I got you, baby. I got you. Nola says, Crass, he shouldn't have made it to the draft like Little League is where it starts. No doubt about it. Tara says, that's how I want to see Breeze get that ass run out of play with no protection. Iceman says, wow, we got some great value players. That's right. Tragic Foul says, market pantry, defensive line. Tara says, Jamin slinging the rock. Nola says, they're going to sign the D from Alabama, PB University. I mean, man, all the people you can get, right? Nola Ball said they're going and they signed another great value defensive end today. Throat Cutter says when Breeze run, look like he high stepping. He is slow, man, like he running in sand. Nola says, I'm telling y'all, Austin Carr is Peyton's son-in-law. I told you. He going to make the team, man, one way or the other. I said, you know what? I don't know. This might be the year Austin don't make it, but what happens? Austin comes back. He makes the practice squad. I told you he loves Austin Carr. Told you. Nola says Austin Carr is 5'10", 4.6 speed, 18 career receptions. Something ain't right here. He loves him, bro. He loves him. Tramal says, why put Ruiz at guard? Because Ruiz ain't play enough of the center position to pick up enough to play the center position, effectively. So instead of having him to struggle through games that they need to win, they're just going to use him at guard and hopes that along the way he picks up what Eric McCoy is doing at the center position. But is your offensive line better that way? You put a rookie in there where you had all-pro offensive linemen there. The only thing I can say is they are younger than what they were last year. They're not better offensive line-wise if you lose your 3-time Pro Bowl offensive lineman. So he'll have to learn fast. There'll be a lot of pressure on Ruiz, man. There'll be a lot of pressure. The thing is, I think he can handle it. All right, Tramal says, so we dump Wolford for an unproven rookie. Say it again, Tramal, for the folks in the back can hear you. Throat Cutter says, Tommy Lee Lewis and Deontay Harris together would be fire. I don't know about that, bro. Tommy Lee would run, when in coverage, he would run right in the back of his own defenders. Like, I'm not a Tommy Lee dude. Crash said, I don't believe Ruiz had enough reps at practice. Maybe he'll slowly transition at center. Hopefully that'll be the case. That's hopefully what I'm thinking it should be. He's too small and fragile to play Mike, says Nola Bars. Crash said it may just be me, but the linebacker roster kind of scary after DeMar. I know, bro. Because Alex Anzalone is injury prone, sorry to say. Zach Bourne is a rookie. Cade Nellis is unproven. Craig Robinson is older, non-athletic. He's intelligent, but can't do the athletic stuff. And then you have Chase Hansen. So you have a very young and athletic linebacker core, but the thing is behind DeMario, very unproven. That's why you should have kept Nigel Bradham, is what I was saying, baby. But Sean Payton knows better. He knows better. Look at that linebacker core. Boy, we better stay healthy all season long. I'm hoping it, man. So DeMario been good, hoping. I really want to see Alexander Clowny stays healthy this year. Please, let's stay healthy. All right, I want all the Saints to stay healthy, especially at the linebacker position, especially at the cornerback position. Man, that's the two position and the defense. Listen, if we could put a prayer of protection on 3 areas of the team, let's put it on the defensive ends to stay healthy all season long. Let's put it on the linebackers to stay healthy all season long. And let's put it on the defensive backs to stay healthy all season long. If that happens, we looking good. We looking good. I'm cool everywhere else. I think we'll be fine everywhere else. But defensive line need to stay healthy. Linebackers need to stay healthy. And those defensive backs, namely the top 3 cornerbacks, Jack Rabbit, Laddie Daddy, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson need to all stay healthy, man. You know, that's what I'm really hoping for. All right, Crass says, Nola Boss says secondary is decent. Swearinger should start. Jenkins is already a ball hawk. Give him solid last line of defense over there. Crass says put in Swearinger early. Hit a fool going across the middle. Let him know we ain't playing games on Sunday. I love that idea. Mr. Wode Gutter says, how you feel about Davenport? Love Davenport, bro. Only one thing, Mr. Wute Gutter. Thank you. I hope I'm saying your name right, fam. Mr. Wode Gutter. Is that I think that if he can stay healthy, man, it'll be a big plus. We need Davenport to stay healthy is what I'm saying, fam. If we can get a full season of production out of Davenport, we'll be in good shape. We'll be in great shape if we can get a full season. That's all I'm asking for. Just give us a full season of play. That's all. Thanks for the question too, family. For all the family members in the live stream, please hit the like button. That's number 1. And number 2 is if you're new to the channel and are not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe right now. And I'll give you a shout out. Because once you subscribe, it'll pop up on the screen and everybody can see you're the newest member of the family. So if you haven't subscribed to the Sports Coma, the Great Saint Think Tank, and the Who Dat Nation, subscribe now. Hit the button. That is also free. Free is hit the like button is for free. Hit the notification bell is free, and subscribing is equally free. So hit it for free. It's all free. All right, thank you, there, Mr. Wode Gutter. Lee Wood, what up, Lee? Lee says Sean Payton blew getting Clowny like he was Clinton White House entry. He took it back on him. All right, Brother Jared says he likes the roster. Thank you, Brother Jared. Nola says Marcus Williams' strength can be done by Jenkins sitting him, putting him hitter on either side. K. Savage Gamer said, I don't like the DE position. Clay Matthews should be called at least. Thank you, K. I don't like it either, bro. But we'll see. It's unproven. That's what I was saying. That's what I kept saying to everybody. Listen, the defensive end. Then I listen, go back and listen to him. You know, I was upset about it. I was like, man, listen, Trey Hendrickson is the 3rd situational pass rusher. And Trey's fine when he's healthy, but he gets hurt and he gets hurt and he's out for the season. You know, that's problematic, man. You know, and then Davenport hasn't completed the full season. You're counting on guys that have not been able to stay healthy as of late. And that's why I'm saying this could be problematic for the team. So that's why I say hopefully the defensive end. Thank you, Crass. Appreciate your super chat, brother. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you for your statement as well, K. Savage Gaming. My Ninja says, I'm wondering, is this roster enough to win against the Buccaneers? Week 1. I think so, bro. Thank you, Dirty South Voodoo Dog, Jag. Dirty South Voodoo Jag. Who that to you? Thank you for subscribing, my friend, and welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation. Appreciate your family. Anybody else who hasn't subscribed to the show, hit the subscribe button now and get a shout out from your boy Big Q. Thank you, Crass, once again for your super chat, family, and appreciate that. All right, Dada says K Adams Jack 3 has up. Larry Williams, who that to you, Larry? Nola says Marcus Spears was regular at LSU talking like he a Hall of Famer. Yeah, they go get these guys, man. And we got a video we did when I was busting them up. I was kind of upset because I'm tired of the Mike Thomas question. And when you look, and that video should be coming out, by the way, family, by tomorrow. But it's a new video. Well, it was done last week, I think it was, but we didn't release it yet. You know, they had a few things they had to do to it. I was gone, and I didn't tell them what I want done to it. And I just took a vacation. I just said, no, I'm not gonna be doing remote on my phone and none of that. No, I'm just gonna get away for a little bit, and enjoy, the taking the boys out and having a little fun, So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that because I got on Marcus Spears, man, in that video. I hit him hard in that video. Him and Max Kellerman with the Michael Thomas versus Julio Jones, and they were saying Julio Jones is better. I was upset because you're supposed to be professional sports commentators that's using the facts to reinforce your argument. There is no facts, overall facts. They'll go second, third, and fourth dairy levels to try to pull a stat out to try to show you that you don't need to do all of that. If you keep it the master stat, which is catches and receiving yards, stuff like that, you get a good indication, because without catches, attempts don't mean nothing without catches. You don't get the yardage without catches. You don't get touchdowns without catches. So catches are the master stat for the wide receiver. And I was kind of animated in that video. I think y'all would like that. And my second time, and I decided to do that because some of the family members told me, man, you need to get on them. Anytime they open their mouth about the Saints, don't let them make it. If you want, he said, Q, if you're not letting Peyton make it, don't let these ESPN jackasses make it either. So I said, yeah, you're right. I'm going to get on them. So every time they open up their mouth, I'm going to jump on them. So I promised that. So if I can't, because that'd be hypocritical for me to only go after Peyton when he says stupid stuff and not get on the guys like these ridiculous people out here talking mad about the Who Dat Nation. I got to get at it. Somebody got to protect the Who Dat Nation in the Great Saint Think Tank. So I'm the dude. I got to fire the cannon. So I got on Marcus Spears, and I'm gonna get on some more dudes tonight on the TSC Q&A. All right, let me keep going here. Kai says Super Bowl or bust. We got to put in the work this season. We got to run the ball effectively. The defense got to play on a high level, and Sean Payton got to get his ego in check. Simple as that. Thank you for that, bro. Tramal says Sean Payton needs to win the playoffs. Yes, we need to win the playoffs. Gonna put out a shirt like that, bro, called Win the Playoffs. That's what it meant. Because that's not a common thing that most people say, but if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody say, win the playoffs. That's what it's about. I don't care about the regular season because they're good enough to win at least 10 or 11 games to get in there. Wherever you may be, because it really don't matter because, the fan situation make it a little different. So wherever you are, if you're good enough, you're supposed to be able to win and away at home or away the same way. So you're that good, you're supposed to win the playoffs. That's all I want here. Win the playoffs. That's simple as that. Thank you. All right, Jason King. What up, Jason? Good to see you, family. Who that to you? Crash says put Davenport in the freezer to preserve him. Man, I'm telling you, man, we need him to just make it to the rest of the year into the playoffs, bro. That's what I'm asking. James, who that to you? Good to see you. Nola Ball says no more big payday for Armstead. James Van Corp says, what's good, Big Q? Roster's okay, minus us needing another decent defensive end linebacker. Some people say we're okay. I'm like, no, we go all in this Drew last year's obvious Sean see what we don't. Okay, yeah, that's true. Maybe he does. But James, I'm going to tell you, the Jadeveon Clowny move, he sees what we've been saying. Why else would you go and get a starting level defensive end before the season starts? Why would you try to do that unless you see it our way? Like you need another defensive end, Peyton, and he rushes out to get Clowny, couldn't get him, so say, no. That's the stubbornness. I can't get who I want, so I forget it. I ain't buying. Oh, well, we're going to see. But how would this team look if if they followed pursuit on all those suggestions that we made? Getting the actual defensive end, let's say they secured the services of Everson Griffin or gotten Clowny at an earlier date. when he had that much competition, where people just was filling him out? What if you've gotten him then? You'd had Clowny there, Davenport as a situational pass rusher. That line looks really good. What happened if you kept Nigel Bradham on a linebacker core and perhaps got rid of Craig Robinson? You have other players that can fill in for Craig Robinson as well. But Nigel Bradham there, what does that linebacker core looks like with Nigel Bradham there? You see what I'm saying? It looks a lot different than what I show you. See, people don't get it until you put you show them in their face. You show them the roster in black and white and see, this is what I was saying. This is what you're working with going into the season. Imagine if you've got Clowny early. Imagine if you kept Nigel Bradham. Imagine if you've got another cornerback like Kirkpatrick to come in here and brace that fourth cornerback position or provide some manner of competition for Patrick Robinson or PJ Williams, as opposed to saying, no, we're fine with those guys. When me and you both know that both those guys stink. We both know that. No matter how much perfume you're going to spray on that pile of manure on the ground, that cow patty, no matter how much pink paint you spray on that cow patty, and know how much Victoria's Secrets you spritz all over it, it is still a pink cow patty painted and sprayed with Victoria's Secrets. Either way, nobody ain't gonna touch it. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see how it shakes at the end, where it goes, bro. But James, they're listening, because you wouldn't have made that move that dramatically to the point where you'd have pushed your all-star back aside to go run out there to Houston and try to sign this man, unless you've seen it our way to a degree. So what I'm saying is, when you're having an impact, and like I told you, we got ears in there. I keep saying, there's no way that you firing off commentary like this, that some call it incendiary. You firing it off, and it's going across, and the reporters, they hear it. Trust me, because when your questioning gets better, they peer off. You say, that's a good question, and they try to sugar it down where they can then ask that same question. But listen, when you in that realm and you firing off like this and you hitting them with that, man, them people listening every step of the way. Any smart man know, if you getting good advice from somebody, you don't have to pay them for it, and you getting good advice, you're going to apply that to your life in some form or fashion. You ain't costing you nothing. You're going to pay. Only time you're going to take advice if you getting somebody, you got to pay somebody to give it to you. You going to be like that? They don't do that, man. A lot of these people out here are very resourceful, and they can pick up information and apply it if it applies. But all I'm issuing out is giving you the bare bone truth in my own way. And everything I said about the Jadeveon Clowney is right on the money. The stuff that happened with Kamara, me pinpointing the fact that he's being deceptive and outright lying to the people, when nobody would say that. Nobody would say, oh, he lying, man. No, he ain't gonna say, man, he is lying, man. And I'm gonna call it out because this is my team, man. You put that before me. Don't put that before me if you don't want me to call it out. That's all I got to say. Hide it somewhere. Because if you put it before me, I'm going to call it out. That's what makes us what we are. We won't apologize for being who we are and what we do. The family members expect us to keep it real. Well, that's a part of it. Keep that shit real. Pardon my Portuguese. Thank you. JT says, Q, just like they are great with creating contracts, that opposite with doing contracts, if that makes sense. Isn't that something? Jerome said, yeah, you got a receiver and a safety. John, who that to you? John Thompson, who that to you? Torres Shepard, big ups to you as well. Let's see. Nola says, better hope peak contract payout. Old truck bottom can't even start. James says, I think Sean going to get someone before the trade deadline with the same draft compensation he was going to use on Clowny. You want to laugh, Q? The trade they offer was the same, and Ngakwe got dealt for. Okay, yeah, well, you never know in today's league, James, so you might have a point on that, bro. Crash said, James, when is the trade deadline? October? It's a long time to wait. All right, says week 8, says Nola Balls. Jason says, be honest, Q, Saints always lose the first game of the season and start playing Saints football after getting beat. That is true, James, but this is unlike any other year, wouldn't you say? It's different. Tom Brady adds a different veneer to this, man. In recent years, you playing against Jameis Winston. We didn't take a lot of those. Even if we open the season against Tampa Bay, we didn't take a lot of those series because we dominated Tampa Bay as of recent. We've dominated them. That's why they went all out like this, because the Saints' domination. We've dominated them. The only team we really had issues with was Atlanta, because we would play down to Atlanta for whatever reason, either one of the games we played. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, to be honest with you, man, that Tom Brady brings another avenue to this. He really does. The fact that he's here chasing Drew Brees down for his records. He comes into the NFC South. He brings Gronkowski with him. He brings star power with him. He got Leonard Fournette, and then Bruce Arians, by the way, said today that Leonard Fournette will be a major part in the offensive scheme. I just want to put that on your brain. So it's a lot more than just the regular rivalry. Brady and Breeze makes it showtime. That's the real deal. Thank you for that, though, bro. Heavy C Henderson, what up, fam? Says Q, how is the 70% when he missed 3 games and Mike Thomas caught all the passes? 70% is what he represents, bro. He did miss games, but if you break it down, actually it's over. I'm dialing it back to 70%. It's over 70%. You can actually pull up the facts, the numbers yourself, and see the ratios on what he is and compare it to his statistics and other things that he does that doesn't get added up in the regular popular statistics that you could pull up upon Alvin Kamara. That's what the PFF camp is pulling off of. That's how they know how much of what percentage that Christian McCaffrey played in his offense. That's how they know what percentage of how much Zeke Elliott played in his offense based upon his snaps, and then they have the productivity stat as well. And the fact that he does represent 70% of the team's offense. He does. You can pull the numbers up for yourself. You can pull up your receipts right there to show that he does. That is a standard fact that you can look up, you know. And yeah, you're right. But you say, well, how does he represent? Well, Mike he didn't catch all the passes, bro. Mike caught 149 passes to break the wide receiver record. But if he caught all the passes, then how was Kamara able to get 81 catches? Meaning if he wouldn't listen, that's 81 catches that Mike Thomas could have got if that was the case. The bottom line is he still was number 2 in receptions behind 149 by Mike Thomas. You know, so I mean, I don't know, Heavy C. You might not be a fan of the man, but you're not being fair with him in his production. He led the team in rushing, and he was second on the team in catches. Look at the statistics; it's there. But he represents that amount because the team was operating with a mutated offense. I've said that all that time last year. It's a mutated Saints offense. It ain't nothing new. And I say mutated because they were only using 4 players on the offense, skill-wise, to make it roll. And that was Alvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, Drew Brees, and then Jared Cook. Those were the 4 guys. Every last one of them men made a Pro Bowl. Jared Cook made a Pro Bowl, so did Mike, and so did Alvin Kamara, and then Drew. So what I'm simply saying is that despite the fact that Mike had a lot of production, he still was second on the team in catches and first on the team in rushes, despite his injuries, which proves my point even further. And truth be told, he was still injured to most of the rest of the year and still made a Pro Bowl. So that goes to show you the grit and grind of the man anyway. But you can look up that percentage for yourself. Appreciate the statement. Josh Hoover, who that T said, Big Q, once again, I feel the Saints blew it in free agency. Loomis is great at contracts. There's no reason we don't sign impact players. Well, you did get impact players. Nigel Bradham was an impact player to me. He could have came in and solidified the linebacking core. He could allow these young guys to come along righteously. It's no need for us to rush the young guys into nothing right now. This is Super Bowl or bust year. You want to rely on veterans that have been there. That's why Malcolm Jenkins and Emmanuel Sanders Malcolm Jenkins and Emmanuel Sanders are here, is because of what they represent as a cooling effect, a calming effect over each individual room. Emmanuel will give the wide receivers that soothing mentorship. So with Malcolm Jenkins in the back end of the defense. That's what it's about. So when you got a guy like that, you know, that those veterans come in, that's what they bring because they've been there. Jenkins has been there before. So did Sanders. So, and Nigel Bradham as well, if they would have kept him. That's why I wanted to put those guys, each one of those type of guys, in the position where the Saints have had the most problems staying healthy. I would have liked to have one at defensive end, one at linebacker, one at cornerback. That's why I was pushing veteran. But the Saints will go find undrafted guys that they know they will not give an absolute opportunity for nothing. Like when they signed those 4 guys, they signed those three defensive linemen Nobody knew who none of these guys were. They signed one of the dudes from Canada. None of them dudes made it. He put every last one of them dudes on the street. And that's why I was telling you. I was like, man, are these Super Bowl or bust moves? Which one are they? Are these Super Bowl moves? Is this going to get us to the dam? And then it turns out none of the guys made it. And that was my point. You got to keep your veterans. The veterans help the team out. You know, and you got to call on them, because when them young players get in the playoffs, man, look up that saying by them old coaches to tell you that a rookie represents a loss in the playoffs, because they don't know what the hell going on. They lost. They lost in the playoffs. No matter how much you got to coach them up, they lost. It's a different world. You have to be there and go through that to know, understand it. All right, Smokeless says the fact Nick Easton is still on the team is just ridiculous. Not even a pay cut. He getting starter money. $6 million. It didn't go to him and touch none of his money. But once again, Peyton knows what he's doing. Mickey Loomis knows what he's doing. They're trying to do signing trades, which is illegal in the NFL. But you telling me that they know what they're doing? You know, that's what I'm saying, man. You challenge me, but not challenge them. It's just people. We got to rise above that mentality, man, for real. Jamal says if we lose to Tampa, thank you for that, Smokeless. Good statement. Jamal said if we lose to Tampa, I'm worried about Sean Payton mental makeup. If we lose to Tampa, bro, listen, we lost the game. We just have to come back harder the next week. It don't mean the end of the season if we lose to that team. But the Saints are the darlings of the division. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Johnny-come-latelys, and we just got to knock them down. And you do that by running the ball, playing defense, and please run the ball so it gives your defense enough time to rest so they can stuff Leonard Fournette or McCoy or Jones or whoever else back there, so they can have enough rest so they can stop Goodwin and Evans. Because we stop Evans, Goodwin's usually the dude that kills us. They got Gronkowski running around in there. You know, we're going to need some help. You know, so hopefully we can get to the guy with our front four. You know, hopefully we can make some stuff happen. But if we lose the game, it's not season over. There's a lot of games left. The Saints, that just makes the Saints going to have to step up and play some ball. That's all that means. Jerome says Easton's going to be left guard next year. They'll have to move Pete to left tackle. Crash says Nick is highly compensated backup. They have not touched his money. It's amazing. Who That Nation says 45-35. Who that baby? Thank you, bro. I like that score, man. That means we blew them. You know what's up. K. Dot says I was pissed when we let Walford walk, then tried to hype it up in the draft for Reeves. We didn't need Reeves and should have gone at linebacker in the draft first round. You make a compelling point there, K. Dot. He also says, I like that we have Bourne, but we could have drafted much better. He says, put Bourne at defensive end. I think he gets swallowed up there, bro, if you put Bourne at defensive end. But you could see him possibly used as a situational role. And them going back to the original strategy now that they didn't get Jadeveon Clowny, you can see him going back to that original role of saying, okay, now we could put Zach Bourne back there. You know, you can see that happening and developing on that. But no, you're not better. I'm not going to feed you nothing, bro. I ain't going to feed you a pink cow patty that got that sprayed with hamburger smell. I'm not going to do that to you. I will let the national press do that to you, but I'm not going to do that here to you. I'm going to tell you the truth, and the truth is that is a cow patty that somebody sprayed pink, and then they sprayed Victoria's Secrets on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't going to say, oh, yeah, go ahead and eat it so I can laugh at you. If you say, man, this ain't it. This is not a hamburger. This is I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to keep it real with you. You're absolutely right. It does not make your offensive line better to have Reeves playing at guard to replace Larry Warford. He's still a rookie. Whether you learn in the guard position or the center position, you're going to have to let him get in there and learn. He's going to have to learn one way or the other. And if it's Super Bowl or bust year, you shouldn't have drafted a rookie center, which is one of the most important positions on the offense, is to hike the ball with the quarterback. Then you start the camp off, played McCoy for 5 games straight, or days straight, 6 days straight, whatever it was, and then finally switched Ruiz there to play him, and then he got hurt and missed all the rest of it. And I was like, why are you doing that? You setting him up for failure. Put him in there, see what he got. He did a lot of suspect stuff, man, that I'm calling out. And it doesn't make and I was against it. Look, I'm against drafting Ruiz if he's going to play guard. You know, he's a center and he needs to learn how to play center. You cannot protect him from the rigors of the season. Even though he might not know all of the verbiage from the center position, that is your responsibility to teach him that. You drafted him, Sean Payton. You have to make sure that young man knows what he's doing, and playing him at guard is not helping him to learn how to play the center position. He has to play at the center position to learn how to play the center position. That's the bottom line. So, yes, you are weak at the offensive line. You're weaker than what you were last year because Ruiz is there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that because he has big shoes to fill. Now, he said, well, Q, how you agree with it that Ruiz would play center and McCoy was there? I like McCoy better than at the guard position than I like Ruiz there. I like McCoy at the guard because he's a natural born guard. Even though he could play the center position well, I like him at guard. He would be tremendous at the guard position. He wouldn't be as better than what Larry Warford was, obviously, because that's a 3-time Pro Bowler there. But he would have been really good. He would have been good there. Ruiz at center, that's his natural position. I would have been, look, you might have a few bumps and bruises on, learning it, but that's a part of the NFL game. But if it was really Super Bowl or bust, then why did you draft a rookie center in the first place if you wasn't going to? I mean, it's just more Big Q's questions. Thanks for that, K-Dot. Fred Savage says, are we looking to trade Rankins? Not anymore, Fred. Appreciate the question, bro. No, they're not looking to trade Rankins. In the latest reports look like they're going to hold on to him, but we'll keep an eye out on that. But right now it says no, they're going to hold on to Sheldon Rankins. Thank you, Fred Savage. Who that to you? And hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And that's to all the family members out there listening. That's not subscribers. Smash upon the subscribe button if you please. Bishop One Love says, AK and Rich Paul, all I'm going to say. Yes, indeed. Who That Nation says, Tampa secondary in trouble. Aerosol, old Who That style. Colson, Meacham style. Who that driver. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you. Jerome says, I've been saying Kamara want to go to L.A. He want to work out on his music career. I didn't know he did music. All right. Just give me a second, family. Just leaped on me. I'm at Anderson. Anderson Baker, who that to you? He said he better run the rock. I know, Anderson, I'm with you on that. Who that to you, brother? Dada says, I heard Max Kellerman say he felt the Saints would make the playoffs, but he wasn't sold on Tom Brady and the Bucks. Thank you for that, Dada. Seth Scott, who that to you? I'm ready to see Brady put to sleep. Uncle Paula says, hey, Q and family, if this is Super Bowl or bust season, why the Saints are not even giving a whiff to try to get Earl Thomas? He will put some bite in the secondary. They'll never look that way. They won't. I guarantee you that they would never look that way. Lee Wood says, okay, Ghostface Griller says they flip-flop so much, Dad. I know. Lee Wood says the stat on Miles Thomas says all numbers don't lie. Talking heads or zombies, no brains. Seth Scott says might need to rap Davenport and bubble rap. I know, bro. Give him that old Zion Williamson treatment, huh? Crash says, Q, do you think Marquez Callaway will get any targets this season? He's got violent hands and can win 50-50 balls, a potential red zone nightmare. I don't know, bro. He's buried on the depth chart. He's the last one there. But I hope he does, man. I really want to see what he can do. And I think that's why he made the team, because he can play inside and out. He's also a guy that can kick return, punt return, as I showed you on the depth chart. So hopefully he will, but, we'll see how it goes. Because I really want to see what Marquez Callaway can do. I really would love to see him in that role. So hopefully we will, bro. But he's buried on that depth chart behind everybody. So only way we get to him is probably through certain wide receiver packages or injuries. So we'll have to see. But I really would like to see him too. Uncle Paula says, Ghostface Griller, you're so right. Sean Payton got this team so unstable. Ghostface says, I like Bradham. Sascott says, IMO, Alexander not ready for traffic coming at him with that bad shoulder. But I told family members that. I told you that. I told you, I said, family, they're going to try to play Alex Anzalone at the Mike position. People said, no, Q. Like, yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Well, why would they do that, Q? Don't they understand that he's one of the most injury-prone linebackers we have? And I said, yeah, they understand that. But this is a contract year for Alex Anzalone, and they want to see if he can play the Mike position so that if he stays healthy, he can earn a cheap contract and they'll put DeMario Davis in the street. I said that. You're like, no, look what they did to Nigel Bradham. It is a preview of what's going to happen to DeMario Davis. The cap shrinks and they're not going to pay DeMario Davis a ton of money. Look at your linebacking core. All young guys except for Craig Robertson. Behind DeMario Davis and Alex Anzalone, they're all young, inexperienced guys except for Craig Robertson, who's a free agent who won't be on the team next year. Or he probably could if you get a cheaper contract to stay. But the Saints more likely will probably find somebody else. That's what Chiquillo was brought here, by the way. And what's messed it up is that he couldn't stay healthy. But he is on the practice squad. We did show that today. Okay, let's keep going. Let me get on down here. All right. Okay, Tragic's 504. Who that to you? Says, how can we say PJ Williams stink when he's now being utilized as safety, the position we've been saying he should have been playing all along? No, he stinks as a cornerback. Tragic. I think I've been really abundantly clear about PJ Williams and Patrick Robinson stink. Me and you both know that. And he stinks at a cornerback position. As safety, he's fine at safety. He's fine at safety. But he stinks at cornerback. Let me clarify that. He's fine at safety, but he stinks at cornerback. I think you and the rest of the family members can agree with me on that. Crash says, I really had high hopes for Nigel. You'll need veteran leadership come playoffs, and Mario needs the help. I don't trust the rookies. I don't no offense. I don't either. Kelvin says they couldn't get Clowny at an earlier date. No one didn't want to go to training camp. The right price, Kelvin, he was coming in. That's all I got to say, bro. The right price, he was coming in. He was coming in for the right price. Had the Saints moved with the same intensity now that if they'd used that then like they used it now, they would have gotten Clowny. They would have gotten Clowny. They would have gotten him. They would have gave him his extra money. And then the core part about it is they would have had, if they were ready for him, they would have freed up the money beforehand to be able to know what he wants and give it to him. Because they was trying to give him the $15, $16 million, whatever it was, and a nice signing bonus to go with it. So the Saints could have freed up the money ahead of time because they knew what he wanted, but they waited late in the game to get it. They could have been went after him. And usually a good method is to use a leverage technique. Use another defensive end as leverage against him to get him to bring the price down. And how hard was it for you saying that he didn't want to sign when he told you that I wanted two contenders. I wanted the Saints or the Cowboys. Well, that was before Tennessee got involved. Tennessee wasn't on the list of the teams that he wanted to go to. It was after the fact that Tennessee got involved. So had the Saints moved earlier, they would have gotten Clowny, and maybe they could have used Griffin as leverage to get Clowny to come down off that money. You see what I'm saying? They could have used them as leverage. But they didn't use nobody as leverage. They just went into it just like what it was. And that's why I was saying, where's the second guy? That's why I kept looking. Where's the second guy? Where's the second guy? Where's the plan B here? There was no plan B. You had no leverage. And that's a shame. They could have used Everson Griffin as leverage against Jadeveon Clowney. They could have. It might have not worked, but they could have got, at least they would have got Griffin. And they would have walked away from the situation with nothing but the tail between their legs and another defeat and not getting a defensive end that can help Cam Jordan opposite of besides Davenport. You know, so I mean, it is what it is, family. But you know, people use leverage all the time in this world. Dada says, hit the the like button. Thank you, family. Members, over 90 people in the chat. Please hit the like button. We got 60 likes. Appreciate it, family. We can get it to 100. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Paul says, I'm getting so tired of the lack of drive to win the Super Bowl. Win the playoffs. That's the new shirt coming up. Lee Wood says, make a new move if the Saints losing the playoffs. Throw Sean Payton from the train. Loomis, too. I don't think they're going to do, you know, they got a lot of people still letting them make it. Crash says, Paul, 100% agree, got to get some sense of urgency. That's what I got. I have sense of urgency. And people like dial back like it's 5 years ago or, no, man, no, you got this guy, you got Drew for one more year. You have to have a certain sense of urgency, man. You know, if the house on fire, you're going to calmly walk through there to get everybody up, everybody sleeping, you're going to calmly, I don't want to alarm you, but the house is on fire. We might want to leave. Nobody does that unless they are high on something or zombied out. Nobody going to do it. People going to go, you know. They're going to run through there with some urgency. Get your ass up. Let's get out of this burning house. You're going to have some sense of urgency. All right, let's keep it going. Ghostface Grill, we need to play each game like it's the last. No doubt about it. Win the playoffs. Sad Scott says NFL got a problem with Nola Saints, point blank, period. SC Crash says Super Bowl a bust, leave no doubt. Oh, Henry, who that to you? Good to see you. All right, Ghostface Griller, who that? Kyle Walter, who that to you? What up, Kyle? Kelvin says Fournette going to be useless week 1. Arian said he's going to use him, whatever that means, bro. That's all I can tell you. And Leonard Fournette, he's healthy. He's angry. He got a 1-year contract, and he's running against his hometown team. Trust me, he's going to be motivated. It's up to the Saints to render him useless. But trust me, Tampa Bay is going to utilize him severely. All right, let's keep going. Crash it out. Be cautious to see how good our D-line is. I don't believe we allowed 100-yard rushing in 2 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong, fam. I want to say you're right, bro. I'm going to have to do a little bit more extensive research on that. Paul says, I really believe Peyton is just trying to make it. Make it so he's going out his contract, and the Saints will have to give him a bigger contract for nothing. Saints, they can't win without Drew Brees, Sean Payton. Well, I mean, he just signed a contract like last year or something? He got his contract the same time, right after Cam Jordan got his contract. Kelvin says, take 3 days for them to go through the COVID testing, meaning he went to team in less than a week to practice and learn the whole playbook. Fournette won't be their starter week 1. No, I don't know if he's going to be their starter. But what Arians has said is he's going to use him a lot. That's all I can tell you, bro. They got the article out there. You can read it for yourself. Anola says that Nigel cut was dumb as hell. Sad Scott says, hell, they can't sign and cut me. I'm good. At least I got paid. Saints giving away money. Kyle says Saints ain't making no Super Bowl or bust moves. Not going to lie, Q. Super Bowl or bust moves is what Tampa doing. Saints playing scared, in my opinion. We know what Super Bowl or bust moves are, family. And you're absolutely right. That's why I keep saying. I posed the question to the family. I'm like, are these Super Bowl or bust moves? You knew when they signed those 3 great value can meals, that none of that wasn't no Super Bowl. They put every last one of them great value players on the street. I told you that. Like, man, these guys are not going to help win the Super Bowl. And they put them all on the street. You could have had veterans in here it needs to be a veteran-centered team right now. And then eventually after you win it, you can cut it down however you see. But you start losing veteran people after this year. DeMario Davis and the rest. This is your supreme opportunity to get it. And when you win it, you force those veterans to say, man, let's go back and defend it. And then they sign for a cheap contract to come back the next year to defend it. So none of them veterans going to walk away from a Super Bowl. And you looked at as a contender to defend it the next year. That'll force them to make a decision. That'll force them to take less money to stay with the team. It's happened before. It can happen again. It's a possibility. Paul says, who that to you, Tyrone Jones? Good to see you in the chat as well, man. No, phones ain't open on this show, Uncle Paul. I don't have that much time to open them, but I will open up the communication lines on TSC Q&A tonight on Patreon and for the YouTube members. So if you're a patron, if you want to join us tonight, we will be opening the lines for communication. TSC Q&A live is on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Link is in the description section below. You can sign up and be a part of the show, man. We do a different format where people can actually be seen on the show. It's pretty cool, man. So join us there and become a YouTube member, or you can do it by way of Patreon. The link is in the description section. All right, Donald McKim said, keep in mind the money for Clowny would have been from this year's cap, and Kamara money will be from next year's cap and beyond. Right, that's a possibility, but guess what? The Saints could have still cleared some money for this year. How much money could you have gotten if you'd have simply reworked several deals, including the one that's really outstanding is the Nick Easton deal, which he has, he counts against $6 million. That you could have freed up $5 to $6 million or $4 or $5 million just with that move. Why did they not rework that contract? They still haven't reworked that contract, and they could have done that ahead of time is what I'm saying. Nick Easton is overpaid. We know that. They got rid of Larry Warford because they said he was making too much money and the man was just going to Pro Bowls every year. But you justify that, but don't justify the fact that his backup, who's not nearly as talented as he is making $1 million or so less than what he's making. But you take his money and not the guy that's behind him. It doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, they could have gotten them and freed the money up. This was just all a big garbage time move, in my opinion. Lee says, how's your fantasy league shaping up? Shaping up all right, bro. The league is already set. The deadline was last weekend for everybody getting in a fantasy league. So everybody looking good. Teal and everybody looking good. Everybody is in the thing. So, yeah, we good to go. Grossface says, man, DeMario Davis is near and dear to my heart. I'm just saying, bro, I won't break nobody's heart here, but I'm just saying, look what the Saints did with Nigel Bradham and the youth movement that they're doing. All those guys, except for Craig Robinson, are young athletic linebackers. Chase Hansen, Kate Nellis, love him, but he's inexperienced. Alex Anzalone's injury prone, hasn't went through a full season. Demario Davis and Craig Robinson is as veteran as you get, and you better believe Craig Robinson's and Demario Davis's contracts are up next year. You know, it is a youth movement going on underneath the scenes. Let's keep it going. Once again, Tyrone T-Bone, who that to your family? Good to see you. All right, Lee says, okay, thank you for that. Sat says, what side Bucks Barnett's on, left or right? I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to look that up. Heavy sees Demario Davis is a beast and a captain that can replace the leadership he will lose when Drew Brees leaves. I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. We got to win right now, and winning right now helps these guys to think about coming back for cheap prices, defend that Super Bowl champion title. So we just got to keep it, we just got to win, baby. We got to win the playoffs. All right, thank you for that. All right, Tragic says Rankins will be gone after the season and possibly before if the right trade options open up again. Any thoughts? I wouldn't trade him, bro. I mean, you never know what the Saints are going to do, but I wouldn't trade Rankins. I would keep Rankins because I want to see, I need him to win the Super Bowl. That interior defensive line is the best portion of the team, I believe. It's the deepest and best portion of the defense, in my opinion. They're going to go from third to first, in my opinion, and stopping the run. We just need the edge guys to do what they're supposed to do. But I would not get rid of Sheldon Rankins, man. I would keep him and win the Super Bowl, and then maybe try to say, listen, Sheldon, if you come back, we could defend this thing. And maybe you can come back cheap for a one-year deal next year with several other free agents to kind of win this thing again, to defend it. So, that's my thought process. Like, win the Super Bowl and everything kind of works itself out. You see what I'm saying? People will take cheaper prices or cuts to come back to compete for that Super Bowl in the next year. It does create options. And, of course, you can lose people like most Super Bowl teams do. But bear in mind, the cap shrinks. So the market's not going to be like a traditional regular market that you would be accustomed to seeing. All right, thanks for that. Tragic. K-Dot says Clay Matthews, Jabal Shurd, Ziggy Ansah are all at home waiting to be called. I'm not saying they're better than Clowny, but I trust them better than Hendrickson. I agreed, bro. Agreed. Those are all veteran pass rushers that can all give you something from the situational pass rusher role. Clay Matthews had 8 sacks last year in 12 games. We could use that production. I think that will help. Paul says Demario Davis and Ryan Rambo will be on the street next year to save money, and they'll go ahead and have their Pro Bowl seasons with a new team. Seth Scott says, I like Rankins. I hope he stays healthy and ball out. Me too, bro. Crass says, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Crass. Appreciate that as well. Kelvin says, Nigel was a great value player. All right. Kelvin says he's great value. Thank you, Kelvin. Seth Scott says, exactly who LF will play. Let's see. Goal line, you think they should, he said, think they're not going to put Fournette in? Well, yeah, they're going to put him in there, bro. Ain't no doubt about that. Williams says, who that Big Q? Why the media was hitting AK with darts about his absences about his contract, but won't ask Sean Payton why he don't run the ball. They scared of Payton. And they're scared of Sean Payton. I mean, why won't you ask him about running the ball? That's the key thing that'll get us to the Super Bowl that we haven't done. Running the ball lets our defense rest so they can be more impactful. Running the ball balances the attack and make the offense, the play calling a lot more effective. And then when you go to the play action, that makes the play action damn near unstoppable. And once the Saints get their play action going, it's over for you. It's over for you. Lights out. So the Saints need to focus on running the ball and make it a lethal part of the offense, man. Like, come out and bash teams in the mouth early with it, and then go to the pass, and then on the back end of the games, bring out the great guy, the guys, the grinders, and hit that defense in the mouth late in the game when they're tired. Do that kind of stuff. Hopefully they do it, man. Drew Brees being 41 years old, you would think they would finally run the ball, right? You would think. All right, thanks for that, William, and who that to you? Kevin GMKS, I'm ready for the Patreon show. All right, we'll be on that momentarily, there, Kevin. Smokeless said the last 100-yard rusher was Perrine in 2017. I believe he was facing the Washington football team. All right, thank you for that, Smokeless. All right. Chemo Slice, who that to you, fam? He said, I just read that Clowny was never going to come to New Orleans, but the Ravens instead with a sign and trade deal with Jackson, not the Browns. Just read that on Who That Dish. I don't know how accurate that is, bro. He wanted to come to New Orleans. He wanted to be a part of a contender. I can't vouch for that article, but I remember what Clowny said and his people said, that he wanted to be in New Orleans. I don't see one reason why you were lie about coming to New Orleans. You know, he knew they were a team on the verge of a Super Bowl, and he wanted to be a part of it. He said the same thing. He wanted to be with the Cowboys or the Saints because he felt that they had the opportunity to go deep in the playoffs, win championships, and he was looking for the money at the time. So, you know, who knows at this point, bro? Donald McKidd said, yeah, Saints got a record going for the most game streaks of no 100-yard rushes since 2017. Thank you for that, fam. Crash says, credit to Coach Ryan Nielsen. He's a good D-line coach. Kelvin said he lines up against the Ram, if I'm not mistaken. Professor PT504 says, what about Cameron Wake? I've asked that question, Professor. I've tried to ask him. Cameron Wake, I've said Jabal Shurd. I've talked about Ziggy Ansah. I talked about Cameron Wake, Clay Matthews, and somebody threw at the chat that was interesting as well. These guys are good. They'll be good backup guys that'll come cheap and they'll be really effective for you in your situational, in your pass rush situation, which you don't want a rookie over there entirely, and then you have Trey Hendrickson with all his problems. So just to go all out on Clowny and then not go anybody it's just really it's dysfunctional thinking to me, man. It's just, how could you just have one track mind for one person and nobody else? And you can't afford this man. They, you know, giving them or whatever. You got to reshape contracts. If you wanted them, you should have reshaped the contracts, had the money ready. You wouldn't have to do sign and trades that wouldn't happen, that the league would have to turn down. It just showed you the utter ridiculousness of the whole. It was just a waste of time, man. Tyrone Jones, who that family hope Saints cornerback or defense line. Don't get hurt. It'll be a long season. Thank you. We covered that, Tyrone. And that's you're absolutely right. Lovely Spirit, who that T said. What do you think about Kamara? Is going to get, what's that? Money get paid? Oh, yeah, he's going to get paid. Next 2 days. Next 2 days, you're going to see an article. Wouldn't be surprised if it's tomorrow. But most certainly in the next couple of days, you'll see that deal gets done. Saints want that deal to get done before they get to the weekend. And they're very close, which means few little things here or there, but I wouldn't be surprised if you heard about that tomorrow, family. The deal getting done with Alvin Kamara and all that kind of stuff. Would not be surprised if you heard about the deal gets done tomorrow. You know, just to throw that out there. But thank you, Lovely Spirit. Appreciate that. Sat Scott says the 2009 Russian was lethal as hell. Bush, PT, Bell was gangster with that rock for real. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the philosophy change. Is like, okay, you know, if you take statistically speaking and put the Sean Paytons right next to each other, 2009 Sean Payton versus 2020 Sean Payton, or 2019 Sean Payton, or 2018 or 2017 Sean Payton, you're going to see a difference in the running attack. And, you know, he did really well to have Kamara and Ingram together, which historically they were the best running back tandem, statistically speaking, in NFL history. Well, when Ingram left, he kind of put all that on Kamara and wanted to feature him. And the only thing I say, why would you do that, not keep up what worked for you for years, is because out of sheer laziness. He didn't want to be able to incorporate Latavius Murray into that scheme. And you pull Ingram out and put Latavius Murray in. Latavius Murray is a bigger physical, roll-grainer runner. You could have created a thunder and lightning tandem, which is what I wanted it to be. Like what the Giants had years ago when they had Rondé Barber and Brandon Jacobs. That thunder and lightning tandem, that's what I thought it was going to be. When you hit him with the lightning, then bring in the thunder. He didn't do that. He merely made Kamara the feature back and made Latavius his backup, which I thought that was really stupid to do that, number one. You should have tandemized them like you did with the backs prior to that. I thought that was the intention. But instead, he did none of that. He merely kept Kamara in and made him do everything, including the short yardage work that Latavius Murray was called in to do. And he said that in the press conference, he, meaning Payton, said that Latavius Murray, when he signed him, was here to be the short yardage back. So why are you giving the ball to Kamara on 3rd and 1 without a fullback? Why, you know? And that's the question that I asked. Why do you have a fullback on this team, but you don't use the fullback on 3rd and 1 situations? Why don't you use the fullback? Why don't you use the running back that averages 4.5 yards per carry to get the short yardage stuff that you don't put your skill back in there and get them hurt? That type of stuff. There was no excuse for it. It just except for straight up laziness and the inability to stay focused and disciplined to stay on task. That's what that comes down to. It takes discipline to stay on task with some shit that work. Bottom line. And if you don't have the discipline, you do stuff like that. You overthrow the ball. You underrun the ball. You see what I'm saying? Even when you know you're supposed to be throwing it, you're running the ball. That's out of short discipline, laziness, not having the focus and attention to detail. Bottom line. That's the only way you don't do these things. Because you know you're supposed to be doing them. Because the butcher, the fans on the street is telling you to run the ball. It's the same thing. You know you're supposed to. All right. Thank you for that, bro. I'm about to go on the spiel. Thank you, Kelvin. Sad Scott says Kamara gets 15.5. Crass, I think Works production is way down now. Sean, interested in him? Nope. Sad Scott, how he says, how you pick Tannehill over Breeze, Clowny tripping. He'll see he made a mistake. Nola says, Q, you think Peyton betting on Drew working on the deep ball in the offseason to loosen up the coverage because teams were in the run defense pretty much against us last year? That's a good point, Nola, and good question. And it could very well be because Drew is showing and proving to them that he's brought back the deep ball in his arsenal. So you could have a point on that. You really could have a point on that. Now, I do expect Drew to throw the ball down the field, but I really don't want him to. He's 41. I want the offense to, he'll take shots down the field, but I want him to be relaxed. I want him to merely be, the running game. I don't want Drew Brees to be the focal point of the team. He's 41 years old. He has to work within the offense. He has to work with the wide receivers. He has to get a ball to the running backs. Let the role players do their job. You got to run the ball. Let the guys run the ball and help that young offensive lineman, both of those guys, McCoy and Ruiz, out by running the ball. There's one thing they can do is they can run block. So give the ball, let these guys run. And for goodness sake, start using the fullback more. Start using the fullback. Don't put Kamara out there and running the ball naked in 3rd and 1 and the linebacker shoot the gap and tackle him for a 2-yard loss. Please don't do that to him. If you have a fullback, use the fullback, please. Use the fullback. Let him smash that linebacker and free in a running back to get to the 2nd and 3rd level of that opposing defense. Let's please do that, why don't we? Let's use that fullback. He on the team for a reason. Let's use him. Thank you for that, Nola Balls. That was a great question, by the way. That's the question of the night. That was a really good one. Cress says, I don't think many high-profile free agents want to play in Dennis Allen's defense. I'm hearing that a lot, bro. I'm hearing that a lot. He said they had Skrilla Scott. Nola Balls, one trick mind is Peyton's identity. We lost against Minnesota because we had a game plan. Breeze on the 40-year-old QB throwing 400 yards and 4 TDs is no plan B. You got to bring the running game. The running game has got to be the center part of this team winning this year. It can't be a 41-year-old quarterback throwing the ball around 30-plus times a game. It cannot be that. You can't, because if he do that in the season, he's not going to have nothing when the playoffs comes. And notice how poorly he struggles in the playoffs. Drew Brees struggles really terribly in the playoffs. Almost to the point where you want to take the ball out of his hands and take the pressure off him by running the ball. Run the goddamn ball in the playoffs. We have to be able to do that. All right, thanks for that, Nola. That was a good statement as well. Javier, who that T said they will use Fournette on short yardage and goal line offense. Thank you for that, Javier. LaShawn, who that to you? LaShawn, good to see you, baby. Who that to you? Crass says Sean Eagle has kept us from winning multiple trophies. Thank you, Crass. Tiki Barber. Yeah, that's who it was. Tiki, what I said? Rondé Barber? Tiki Barber. I'm sorry, Lee. Yeah, you're right. Lee, it's Tiki Barber. Who I said? I forgot what. I said Rondé Barber or Tiki Barber? I don't. Y'all knew what I mean. I ain't no Giants, man. Y'all knew what I mean. One of them damn barbers. Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs. That's who I was thinking about. Thank you, Lee. Freddie says, who that Freddie? Freddie says Murray and Montgomery going to start. Going to start? No, they're not going to start, my friend. No, they're not. Crass says, I'm trying to understand why Latavius Murray wasn't running more versus his old team in the wild card playoff. No tomorrow and dude has 7 carries. That's all on Peyton. That's all on Peyton. If Peyton would have unleashed the beast in Latavius Murray, he would have ran over them people. I'm telling you. He was pissed off and upset and anxious to take him on in the playoffs, and Sean Payton didn't even run the man. Didn't even run him. Put the fullback out there, put the tight ends out there and say, listen, we're going to force it down their necks and see what they do. Force it down their necks. And that's what you were supposed to do, play bully ball with them. You to gain the momentum, because I'm pretty sure that the Vikings could not handle the interior rush. They got ate up by that. The Saints ever went to that seriously and started forcing a run down their throats, the Saints would have changed and shifted the direction of that game. You know, we just kept wanting to throw the ball around and put it in a 41-year-old quarterback. He trying to scramble around, and Drew's not a scrambler. The thing with Drew Brees is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, get rid of the ball. Find if you don't see the guy that you want, the 1, 2, or 3 option, find the drop off, find the dump off route, get rid of the ball. If he's covered, throw the ball down for incompletion or throw it out of bounds. You cannot escape. You cannot escape. You're not athletically gifted anymore to escape away from pass rushers. So you can't afford to take sacks. So you have to throw the ball away if you don't see anybody there. That has to be the mantra. So I mean, we'll see. Kelvin says Sean incomplete on first down, run up the middle on second, long try throw on third and long and hope for a first down. Wash, rinse, repeat. He's becoming quite predictable, bro. You're right on that. Ghostface says Tom Brady will not beat Father Time. He's washed up more than thrift store underwear. Wow. Oh, that's pretty bad. All right. Nola says, don't expect much change from Peyton unless Kamara isn't available. Jerome says, guys, David's not going anywhere. David's reminds Sean Payton like another Cam Jordan. Thank you. Ghostface you all, says Crass. Tally 90, who that to you, says run, run, run. That's right. Tara says, I still can't believe we lost that game. Freddie says, that's what I did not want to hear. I know Freddie. Kelvin, what up, Kelvin from Phoenix, Arizona? What's up, Kelvin Washington? Who that to my dog Kelvin in the building, chiming in from Phoenix. All right, good to see your family in there. All right, family, that's the bottom of the chat, man. I done went all through this here thing. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real with you. Now we get close to the end of the show, family. I think we got a 6:30 show. I want to say if it's 6 o'clock or 6:30 on TSC Q&A. Please understand that a lot of family members that will be chiming in there understand that I'm over here on the channel with this show, and we're about to end the show to go to TSC Q&A. So if you want to join me there, feel free to hit the link in the description section below for the Patreon, and you can join the Patreon show, as you can see right there. To become a member of Patreon, simply go to patreon.com/PRO Media Network or locate the link in the description section. It's just that easy. And you can sign up for TSC Q&A on Patreon. Also, our YouTube members can listen to the show, watch the show, and interact with it as well. Like I said, it's a lot of content for our Patreon membership and our Patreon champions and our YouTube member. So if you want to become a member of that, check the link in the description section below. And just to let the family members go, is that we have several virtual stores available where we sell our own gear. Over 50 plus designs are available. Some of the latest ones are living that Who That life. They come in several colors. There's several sizes, men, women, children, all kind of stuff. We have hats. We have just all kind of stuff. There's so many things to name, but it's literally hundreds of dozens of products available at the Pro Shop. And remember, when you make a purchase at the Pro Shop, the proceeds goes to helping build a better platform and keeps these shows strong and vibrant. You can also feel free to check out our selection of hats. And remember, our hats come in multiple colors and sizes. They're adjustable and durable. And they're not paint stamps. They're actually stitched. They're embroidered. So you can have it like the nice Drew Brees, the Drew Arlen's hat that I have that's camouflage is also available at the Pro Shop as well. So if you're interested in, you can check there. We got face coverings, all kind of great stuff is available at the Pro Shop. So feel free to check it out. Like I said, also family members know you can find our audio show at Pro Radio. Pro Radio, the link is in the description section below, where you can listen to the Sports Coma, the Pelican Postgame Report, Ring Kings, Boxing World, and Tough Tiger Talk for our LSU family members who love LSU Tigers. We have those broadcasts available at Pro Radio. Also, each one of those shows have their own YouTube channels. So you can go to Pelican Postgame Report on YouTube, Ring King, Boxing World, and Tough Tiger Talk to find each one of those platforms on YouTube. But if you want to listen to them in their audio purity, feel free to go to Pro Radio at Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. Link is in the description section below. You can sign up. Also, let the family members know that we're giving a shout out to our sponsor, GetLifeMask.com. Well, if you like the mask, either Pelicans, Saints, or LSU, you can feel free to go to GetLifeMask.com and get your mask today. Now, these would make these masks a little different. They have the ability to have the adjusters on side where you can adjust for either child or an adult. Also, inside of the mask, there's a filter behind the nose of the mask, the PM 2.5 filter, which slides in behind the nose clip. That filter actually filters the air and it lasts for 3 months. So GetLifeMask.com and breathe easy and take 10% off with the code TheSportsComa. Put that in there. All right, thank you, family. Appreciate the family members tuning in for another installment of the Sports Coma. Once again, we're 2.5 hours. I enjoyed speaking to the family members. Please smash on the like button if you haven't. Smash on the like button and support the stream. Feel free to take the stream and borrow the link and shoot it in your social media or put it in the Saints Facebook groups. That helps out a lot. So wherever you guys go, feel free to take the Sports Coma, the Great Saint Think Tank with you to wherever you socialize. Please feel free. We more than approve of that, and it really helps us out exponentially as well. So that's another great weapon. Improving the platform is sharing the links on your social media and other Saint-related face groups or Reddit or what have you. Sports Coma is really popular with people because we have a habit of keeping it real. And I think that you deserve nothing more than realness. You don't deserve somebody to stand up here telling you fake stuff all day or sugarcoating it to you. You guys deserve it to keep it real, and that's what I do. So I appreciate all the family members for joining me in the live stream tonight. I'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday Saints Talk. We'll be back on Wednesday Saints Talk tomorrow, and we'll drop all the latest. Hopefully, Alvin Kamara would have signed by tomorrow, which I'm getting a good feeling about it. Hopefully, he signs tomorrow. If not, it'll probably be the next day. But hopefully, we'll have some news tomorrow to talk about family as well. And also, I'll open up the phone lines too tomorrow as well. For the rest of the family members, feel free to join me. I'm about to go over to our Patreon, our TSC Q&A live on Patreon show tonight. We'll be on there for a couple hours. So I welcome you guys to come on over and join me. Just simply go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network or simply become a YouTube member. Either one will get you in. So thank you. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.